takes place in the same universe as like Logan. It's like, no, fuck you.
Bro has,
Seriously, like
bro has
Logan
never
should just be
grabbed a Deadpool
completely
comic book in his
separate
life.
from all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's never read
For
a
the
Deadpool comic
what's
book in his life.
we got a chatter that says, for the record, Jorge shits on basically every movie. Yes, that is true, but for good reason. Okay,
Tom, I don't think
sorry.
we hear you. You talking?
Can you hear me? Can you? Am I?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so Jay. Okay,
Well-
yeah. I mean, the cast
well-
can hear everybody. All right, sorry. So
Okay.
go ahead. But anyway, go back to the Rotten Tomato score before all the other rants I said.
So more so than Rotten Tomato score and things like that, it is interesting that of all the movies that this particular Captain America movie has the higher audience score than critic score. I think one issue that critics get into, and this goes into something that we talked about when we talked about Captain America and the Winter Soldier, is that comic book movies aren't a genre in themselves. They're a medium for other genres of movie. So Captain America Winter Soldier is a spy thriller. Guardians of the Galaxy is a space opera. Ant-Man is a comedy movie. That really, these are different genres within a particular framework that all fuse together because they're the same universe. But really, you're talking about different types of movies. And that's why some of the most successful directors who have worked in the quote-unquote comic book movie genre are TV writers, like especially the Russo brothers, who got their start on Community, which as a show seemed to change genre every week. That was 10, 15 years ago that they were able to do that. So Shang-Chi should be a martial arts movie or something like that. And that's why at least the first half of that movie works particularly especially well, is because that's the context within that you can do a good martial arts movie. Captain Marvel is just kind of a 90s period piece, which I can complain about that. I enjoyed the hell out of Captain Marvel.
I'm excited for Fantastic Four. We talked about this a little bit last week, I think, but I'm really
Yeah.
excited for Fantastic
Which I guess
Same.
would be like what, a 50s or 60s period piece, I guess, as well.
They said
60s?
60s period. Didn't they?
Oh, really?
Kennedy.
I didn't even know
Kennedy.
Kennedy,
the first-
60s.
Fantastic
Six-
Four 1 was... someone's going to kill me on this one. It was... I want to say it was like 62 or 63. Fantastic Four number 1 came out.
Oh, wow.
So it in that, like, I guess you would call it first 2 seasons of Mad Men era or something like that,
Yeah.
if you were to kind of pinpoint it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it would be. It's kind of that kind of jet age, mid-century modern type look to it. So, but
Gotcha.
it looks great. I don't know why
Okay.
everyone's complaining about the look of the Thing. I think the Thing looks really good.
Very
I mean, compared to,
look.
I mean, but here's the thing: you're comparing to like every other Fantastic Four stuff, which was just, dog shit.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like
people are nostalgic about the 2005 one now for some reason. Which,
the really bad one.
yeah, I thought that one was like
No.
kind of.
Yeah, that
The
was
first,
No.
um,
I think the very first one was campy. The 2005 one tried to take itself a little too seriously
The one with
No, you're thinking of
with Michael B. Jordan.
No, that's not.
no, that's
2005.
2015.
no, that's
2005
2015.
was the first one. Yeah.
Oh, okay, then,
No.
then I'm right about that. Then
Yeah.
sure. Okay, great.
There was
So,
one really
like-
bad one made in 1994.
Isn't that one
Okay,
not
but-
even really
but-
going
but-
to theaters?
Okay, but hold on.
Yeah.
Let me go back to what you were saying. Like, okay, yeah, a lot of these Marvel movies or just superhero movies in general are different genres, made, based with the superhero and everything like that. But like, to me, it's like, it's not. Okay, sure. Like Shang-Chi. Let's talk about Shang-Chi for a second. It's supposed to be a martial arts movie. So if we're gonna base it off being a martial arts movie, it's not particularly a good martial arts movie to me. Like
I thought the martial arts in the first
No.
act were really
but here's the
good.
thing. I'm one that like
And then-
loves stuff like The Raid,
The choreo
or the-
between
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
There are
those
multiple-
type of things. Those are the
There's
movies
a
that
lot
I
of different-
love.
There's different varieties of martial arts movies. So, like the last third of Shang-Chi is like old Hong Kong
Like Tai Chi.
crazy. Yeah, like really like not Crouching Tiger,
Mystical.
but there was like a version mystical. Yes,
Mm.
exactly.
Right,
Like
right. I mean, which
Yeah.
believe me, I've seen a lot of those type of movies and stuff like that. Like, and even then, like, I don't know, it's just I'm not the type of audience for that, to be honest. Like the more
You are.
mystical, yeah, well,
Most of-
the more
well, for
mystical,
any Marvel movie.
Chinese. Well, yeah, that Marvel. But if we're talking about like martial arts, yeah, the more mystical, Chinese centric. Everyone's like on like what do you call it, like
Wires.
wires, like running, that sort of thing. I mean, I prefer one with a great story. Crouching Tiger. The guy that made Crouching Tiger, he also made another one that I actually really liked. It was more bloodier too. Hero was one. Yeah. Hero was great. There was another one. It was a more
House
recent
of
one.
House of Flying Daggers.
No,
Is that it? No.
Wait,
I
which
don't
one
think
are you talking
so.
about? You said what type of fighting style was being used?
Like that like Crouching Tiger style, that particular the wire
The wire
fights.
act type stuff. Like everyone's like flying and they kind of just like, like that.
Mm,
Very unrealistic.
I don't know. Last movie I
uh,
enjoyed like that was Kung Fu Hustle. That was like the most modern version, I think. You didn't like Kung Fu Hustle, Tom?
I didn't say I didn't like Kung Fu Hustle.
You-
I don't think I've actually seen Kung Fu Hustle,
Oh, you
but
kind of
I've not.
gagged
I've
over
got.
there.
I've got.
You were like, oh.
Never seen it either.
No. I didn't mean to gag or anything like that.
Okay.
I have no beef with Kung Fu Hustle whatsoever. It's all good.
Wow, Steven
no,
Chow,
it's called Shadow. Shadow in 2018.
2000.
You guys
Oh,
remember
that
like those
is-
scenes that they were using like the
No.
umbrella weapons?
No, never seen this before.
You
That's
guys never
crazy.
seen this movie? Oh
Yeah.
shit! Maybe I'm
High
the
rated.
movie person now. Here we go.
Oh, you're the movie
Yeah, there we
guy.
go. Here we go. Challenge there. Shadow. Look up Shadow. I think that was an excellent movie. Very dark, but still his style, right? Of like just high flying type stuff like that. Very close to a hero.
Wait,
But going back to Shang-Chi, like again, and a lot of these other Marvel movies, again, it's like I don't particularly think that if we're gonna rate them to the genre that they are, not just superhero movies, there's better things out there, and that's what makes me not like them. Like Shang-Chi was literally like, to me, I couldn't go into it as a kung fu movie or a martial arts movie. I could only go into it as like this is a superhero movie. So they failed me in both ways because it's just the same regurgitated thing over and over and over and over again. And like the actors were just like, I don't know, they're just like, you could tell it's like, we got the pay, we're going there. Like I honestly, I love Aquafina, as a person, as her stand up and everything like that. But they straight up typecasted her now at this point.
She gets typecast for everything. Aquafina plays herself in every movie she's in.
Exactly. And I think,
mean,
but I remember there is
but, like-
one movie that's really good, but it was more like of a somber movie. Isn't that, was Aquafina there? It's one about like her mother or her grandmother is gonna die or something like that.
oh, I
that's-
saw
that's
that
a
movie.
long-
Yeah, it was pretty good though. When she
Yeah.
went back in time.
Yeah.
The one
No.
she kept living different lives. Oh,
No, not that. No, it was more grounded. It was a much
Well,
grounded movie.
to kind of go back to like, let's talk like pre-Endgame.
mm. The build
know,
up was amazing. Though. We were so excited.
I mean, the build up.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
well, part of it is that they
Fantastic.
went on
Love
a
her.
4 or 5 film run from like Guardians Volume 2 all the way through. I think the last one to come out before Endgame was Captain Marvel came out after Black Panther. I
Yeah,
think
but Captain Marvel came out after Infinity War, didn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, we're going up to Endgame.
right, going up to
Yeah.
Endgame. So from like
Which, by the way,
Guardians of
I
all.
didn't like Endgame. Side note.
All right,
That-
whatever.
That kind of
Whatever,
skews you
exactly.
from there because I thought Endgame was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Endgame was
Infinity
good
War
as a
was
back-
superior, but Endgame is a good movie.
It was.
yeah,
agree.
and
Highly agree.
Yeah,
Highly agree.
I think Infinity War is probably
Yeah.
the better one, but I think they put out 4 or 5 really amazing movies in a row, and that's really hard to do for a studio.
True.
On we're talking about a time frame of, let's see, Captain America: Civil War came out in 2016, and they went all the way through let's see, Spider-Man: Far From Home came out in the summer of 2019. That's at least 3 years of releasing probably about 2 or 3 movies a year, and all of them were really good. So the quality that they were putting out and the variety that was going out in that time period, because you can enjoy both movies for themselves. Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther are two very different movies, and they came out back to back. I think Thor Ragnarok came out in November of 2017, and Black Panther came out in February of 2018. They're very, very different movies, but they're both excellent movies within their own right. So to go on that kind of run with they had a little bit of something for everyone in that time frame that's how you get the build up to something like Avengers Endgame coming out in May of 2019.
Yeah, because they didn't just go after one audience. It was several different audiences they had to pull in.
Chatter. Yes, Fast and the Furious is hilarious to me, but I like John Wick. Is past 3? Just saying, Tim. Okay, sorry. I had to respond to that chatter.
The first John Wick.
If you guys are reading
amazing,
chat,
but the most recent one, which one was that one? 3rd or 4?
One series that I like. I mean,
4 was the most recent?
John Wick. There we go. That's a series I like. Chat.
The last one was
I like chat. I like movies. Okay, but going back to what Tom here said. Well, no, yes, but going back to what Tom said, I don't disagree that what they did in terms of the build up to get into Infinity Wars was Herculean. It was great. What they did, the first Iron Man, so on and so forth. But my issue is that I think the formula just is dried out, you know? Like I think like it's now a certain period that like you go back to some of these movies and some of them to me, like, I don't know, don't age well, or it's because I'm just tired of the same formula over and over and over again. Like the Jon Favreau type, you know, everything is like equipped type thing. Like to me, Iron Man, like I can't rewatch Iron Man then just knowing like, holy shit, this dude is just obnoxious like now at this point.
So
you know?
that kind of brings me to this idea that like you got
that's comic books. They're like that in the comic books.
Yeah, whatever.
You got a few different formulas you could do where Marvel's trying to continue the same story in this timeline, whereas DC makes Superman and Batman all over again, telling the same origin story.
We got
5 times within 10 years.
We got to JP. Since you just mentioned that, we do have a spicy take in the chat. They say it's dried up like an old vagina. Honestly, DC's better in general. Marvel's a popcorn movie.
That's an L take.
DC is better at TV shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's an L.
movies.
That's an L take.
Yeah.
But TV shows.
China Stab Crew. You just gave an L take. Everyone
TV
disagrees.
Shows, I disagree with.
Actually, they're all angry at you.
I agree. That's an L take.
The Flash show was a strong DC show, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't. The Green Arrow show was good. Smallville, obviously, if you want to go way back, that's
way back. I'm talking about recent, like the last 5 years or so.
Anyone see any of Superman and Lois? Superman.
Superman. That's fantastic. Yeah,
that
was really good.
The very old one, right? The Adventures of Lois and Clark.
No, new one.
Recent.
I used to watch. I used to watch that one, like the very, very. I guess.
No, Superman and Lois is supposed to be like one of the better adaptations of Superman.
Yeah.
Also,
DC animated movies for sure. That slaps. DC DC definitely did a much better job with animation.
Animated movies are definitely made more for adults. Like they're watchable for adults, where Marvel movies tend not to be watchable for adults when it comes to.
Did anyone see Batman Under the Red Hood when it?
Yes,
of course.
10 years ago.
That was like 94, 98. What was it?
Under the Red Hood was like 2012.
2012, you think?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Sorry.
2010.
They had John DiMaggio play the Joker.
Fantastic.
One of my excellent, outstanding.
Great comic art. Great story.
The last like 5 minutes of that movie are just like
prime. That's prime DC right
spot
there.
on.
But
no, like So I
right
guess
up.
we all agree DC animation just hits it out of the park,
Well,
and it straight
Well,
up
I don't think
started.
Marvel
Let's not
has done an
No,
over
no, no.
like.
Mm,
Well, I guess they have.
They have, but hold on.
Apparently-
Marvel's my
Apparently, that
favorite
new
animated.
Spider-Man show is doing
Yeah,
pretty good.
Spider-Man is the new Spider-Man is all right.
I
My
haven't
favorite
seen
it.
Marvel animated movie though was the Hulk versus series. Hulk versus Wolverine was sick.
Mm.
A lot of Deadpool
Mm.
action on there, which is fun. And Hulk versus Thor was really good too.
Damn,
Hulk
there we
was
go.
a
Chai
menace.
Stabker. Nothing ever compares to the Nolan trilogy. I mean, I would
Well,
tell you
that's not-
yes for the
He's right.
first two movies. The
Third-
third movie though really shit the bed. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I don't think it was shit.
I wouldn't say it.
Yeah, it wasn't shit. It just wasn't
It
as
has-
good as Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was
I mean, they
Well,
had
top 10.
amazing
You're-
acting performances.
You
You know,
only knew the
just like
darkness. I was born. I can't do the. I
What-
can't do the
Dark-
Bane
Yeah.
voice.
Dark Knight Rises has good components. You know,
darkness is
but it, I mean, you can feel however you want about the Bane thing, but that whole sequence. If JP, if you want, we talk about like going back to Occupy Wall Street, the hand, the hand on the shoulder. Do you feel in charge? Is one of the more chilling moments that they've put in a comic book movie,
That was good.
and.
Mm.
Yeah, so like
What?
there are parts of it, and Anne Hathaway is great as Selena Kyle. That's a great performance.
They washed away.
So
the
there's
Latino
great
from
stuff.
Bane, though. They washed away the Latino away from him, and I was kind of annoyed by that. There was no
Selena?
luchador vibes from Bane, like the Bane's whole character.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
always
that
known
was a
Bane as
shame.
a luchador, and I was like, wait a minute, Tom Hardy. I'm like, okay, maybe he could play it off. I'm over here thinking like, can Tom Hardy do like a Latin accent? No, it was not a Latin accent. It was
It's Tom Hardy part.
People,
Latin.
by the way, people are really worried about people are worried about like the new Batman trilogy and like the idea of introducing like fantasy characters, like characters that can't really exist in a realistic, grounded Matt Reeves universe. Like people are worried about that. I personally don't care. I think I'm okay with continuing to see like grounded villains like the Penguin and stuff. I mean, the Penguin, show
Penguin was
did really well.
good.
And
That show was
that
good.
was the best I've seen
That
for
was
a
a good
gangster movie
DC.
since Sopranos. I was
Yeah,
just
the
like, damn.
Batman movie was. I really enjoyed.
that
like,
is
the
that is an
Detective
extreme
Batman.
take. I'm sorry. What really?
Wait,
Yeah,
Penguin as good as
Batman
Sopranos?
movie- the Batman
the
movie
Penguin
was,
series.
oh,
Is
Penguin
that what you were
series,
saying,
was.
right?
I was saying that the Penguin
Mm.
series is the best series on the gangster lifestyle since
Mafia.
Sopranos.
Yeah.
Bold
Yeah.
call, I would say.
It's not
and
a
I
bold
think
call. What?
Chad
It
is
was
saying that too.
fantastic.
Actually, I haven't seen
I
it,
do
but
wanna-
that's a statement.
Then watch
I do
it.
want to
Don't
make a comment
don't make
about
comments.
this. Yeah, I want to make a comment about this drink. It started out a little bit harsh when I was first drinking it, and now it's something you might not know about some cocktails is they get better the longer they have a chance to melt with the ice. And
Oh,
I
that
think the
makes sense, yeah.
rums that I've used in this one are a little bit different from the last time I did it. So the first time I did this,
I'm laughing at
because
the
I was
comment.
basing it
Tell
off
me.
of
I thought
I
that
was
was
basing
a
it-
plant.
Oh my gosh.
I was basing it off of. I was trying to think of like, well, to be honest, when we were going back to doing that show, this is a little kind of insider information on that show. That we did was our guest that evening was supposed to be Lawrence Holmes from 670,
I watched. Yeah.
and he unfortunately he had, because of the timing of it, it happened to be the same night as 2022 Bears Patriots, which was the Monday night game against New England where Justin Fields went
Justin
off
Fields.
on-
I
Yeah.
miss that guy.
on
I
Bill
miss
Belichick.
him so much. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
So, unfortunately, but Lawrence is a big rum fan, so I wanted to do a nice rum drink. So originally, I used Smith and Cross Jamaican rum and Clarin Communal Haitian rum because I wanted two rums from countries with successful slave uprisings
Oh,
in Haiti and Jamaica.
Damn.
Yeah. So this one I substituted. I didn't use Smith and Cross. I did use a Jamaican rum. I used Worthy Park 109, which is a different overproof Jamaican rum, but it's a darker rum. And then I couldn't get my hands on Clarin from Haiti,
That's
but I
plugged.
but I did have some cachaça, which is also a um, sugar cane. How much do you guys know about rum? You guys want to listen on rum?
Yeah,
we
go
love rum. I
continue,
love rum.
continue.
I go to rum
We
bars.
drink
Yeah.
we drink the
Sparrow,
rum.
Chicago.
Big rum.
Rum
All right,
bar.
so rum can be classified by what it's made out of and where it comes from. So most rum that you see is made from molasses, which is like that byproduct of the sugar making process. It's like when you boil sugarcane juice to make sugar, the stuff that's kind of left from the end of it, that's molasses. You know, you get it in a bottle, it's all black. That's the stuff that if you ferment it, you can most of the time you turn into rum. Now there are other ways of doing it, such as fermenting just the pure sugarcane juice, which is what Haitian Clarin is made out of. A lot of the French speaking islands in the Caribbean make rums out of sugarcane juice, like Martinique, very famous for using sugarcane juice. They call it rum agricole. But also Brazil does the same thing. That's where cachaça comes from. It's distilled fermented sugarcane juice. Most other rum is made with the molasses. And in Jamaica, they add all the gunk that settles at the bottom of the boiling pot too. So not only do they use the molasses, but all of the crap that's collected at the bottom, which gives Jamaican rum its particularly weird, funky banana flavor. And then the other end of that process is what country colonized you during the 17th and 18th century. So you have Spanish rums, French rums, and English style rums. So your French style rums are like Martinique, Haiti, Guadalupe, places like that. Spanish style rums, you get Puerto Rico, Cuba, Venezuela. Mexico makes some rums as well.
And I think you mentioned this, that French or Spanish are sweeter, like rums, right? Or I forget which ones.
A lot of French manufacturers will use the sugarcane juice, and what you get from that is this kind of fresh cut grass flavor.
Oh.
So it can be really potent, really, really grassy, really fresh. The English style rums or the Jamaican style rums you get because they add that extra crap that's at the bottom of the boiling pot is they have this like extremely overripe banana flavor that's added to. Like you crack open a bottle of Smith and Cross or you crack open a bottle of Ray and Nephew, and you get this banana bread smell that kind of comes off of the end of that. So when you make a rum drink, you can add different rums to get different flavors. So I have a Brazilian style rum and I have a Jamaican style rum in this that have a very kind of different flavor profile when you add them all together. And on top of that, I have bitter grapefruit liqueur and orgeat, which is a almond syrup. That's the key ingredient in the Mai Tai to kind of add to that. But then I wanted to add blood orange juice for the blood spilt by the people in their revolution, according to Cord.
Sorry, real quick, I walked away because I needed a refill, so I got a new beer, by the way.
need to go
But
to refill,
you mentioned what's it?
Cachaça.
Cachaça. I actually got 2 bottles of that type of stuff here.
That's
Nice.
aged. That's
very,
really that's dark.
very aged. The thing that was supposed, like the actual fruit that was supposed to be in it is completely just like deteriorated. My dad gave me these because he actually like he's a civil engineer and he had to go to Brazil like constantly a lot of times too. I think he got these 2 bottles. I'm going to say maybe 15 years ago or something like that. And he just had it in the basement for a long time. And then when he was like cleaning out his basement, essentially, he was like, "Here, Jorge, do you want any of that stuff?" Right? And actually, Bourbon Ray Night, our chatter in Bourbon Ray Night, he had the opportunity to taste that stuff. So if he's still on, he can tell you what it tasted like because we dared each other to drink this stuff. But this thing's very aged. But I got these things. But you did mention that stuff. I don't know. It tasted like cough syrup a little bit, but it could just be the age. I don't think they're not supposed to be aged, are they?
They can be. I mean, you can age anything. I mean, very famously the original rum used in the Mai Tai, which is kind of like my de facto favorite drink, was a 17-year aged Ray and nephew from Jamaica that they basically drank through the entire supply in like 4 or 5 years. And then the company stopped making it. So that was the end of that.
Mm.
Oh, I see.
So to this day, people keep trying to recreate that particular flavor profile. So there's a couple of guys that I like to follow who do their best, who blend different rums and come up with their own solution. And I have a 3 rum blend that serves as my Tai rum. But
Yeah.
that's what I use.
You seem to favor rums a lot. I've noticed that in your drinks.
I do like rums. I think because of the variety of flavors. I like bourbon. I like rye whiskey a ton. So I do like that. But when I drink bourbon, I want to drink an old fashioned. Yeah, I love a rye whiskey. I've been big into Sazeracs lately. That's kind of been something I really enjoy because it's just served up with a little lemon. It's really nice. But mostly when I drink whiskey, I drink an old fashioned. So, but with different flavors of rums, you can do different things. Like different sweeteners work better with different rums. Like I saw you hold up a bottle of the Angostura 7. And let's see, that's from Trinidad.
Yes. Oh,
So
look at you,
first thing I thought of was that's going to go great in what's called a Queen's Park Swizzle, which is like a mojito, but you put a bunch of Angostura bitters at the top of it, and it creates this like 3-color layer where it's like red at the top, and then it's yellow in the middle, and then it's green on the bottom with the mint, and it's like that's a really good. I don't make that one enough because I don't have enough. But also like an aged Spanish style rum is really good in.
A rum cocktail bar would be such a good concept.
Yeah, they got that. That's called 3 Dots and a Dash.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never been there, and that's a lettuce place, isn't it?
I've never.
Yeah,
I've walked by there so many times.
Oh,
and I've always
Yeah.
wondered
There's
what's
usually a
happening
line.
in there. It's a rum spot.
It's pretty.
Usually-
I've been there many times. It's pretty good, and you got to go with a group of friends.
You
Firstly,
enter to the
real
alley?
quick, we do have a chatter question here. One of them said, where would you rank Hemingway's rum?
Hemingway's. I don't think I've had.
Is that a
Hemingway's.
joke?
No,
Yeah.
but I've had.
I
It's
mean,
a
just
word.
drink what
It's
was in
funny.
front of him.
Hemingway.
I've
Yeah.
made the Hemingway daiquiri is a daiquiri with grapefruit juice and maraschino liqueur, and that's like one of my go-to. That's like I make that for my wife all the time. That's a fantastic drink. That's like
Wait.
served up with grapefruit and maybe you can get a cherry in there. That's terrific.
Nice.
I've only had clear cut. He's just telling me read down, asshole. What the fuck? What did I miss? I thought you was I thought you wanted to. Oh wait, I'm drinking Kirkland whiskey and Coke right now. Cool, awesome, dude. All right.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, there it is. Kirkland. Costco.
Let's see. Oh wait, actually, I
Costco
have a
shoutouts.
rum. I have.
Okay.
Getting their rums yet?
I
Everyone grab
had
their
it
rums.
the last time.
Chazical Barnes, thank you. First time chatter.
Nothing more.
The comment is you can
Where's
age anything with it.
109. What do we got here?
Philippines.
From the Philippines.
Ooh, what is that?
Nice.
This is really
That's
good.
interesting.
Gabe, you've tried this with me. This has really strong vanilla flavors.
Ooh.
So I gave this to my dad, and at the time he wasn't drinking, so he just let me keep it. But this,
You could totally
W Dad.
You could
That's a
total-
W Dad move.
You could totally put that into an old. You could totally old fashioned that. Something with like deep vanilla, like high aged. Yeah,
Look at-
you
I'm
could
taking
put
a
some-
chunk out of this, but it is really good.
yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
What else
Wait,
do I have?
You just took it out the sleeve? That's it?
Yeah, that's the bottom.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
You undressed it.
Nice.
No.
We
Put it
also
back in.
we did have a request in the chat, and I have to go back to this about we have to talk football because
Oh,
God damn it.
yeah.
Tom is
So-
an expert on football with me.
Deadpool isn't
Yeah.
on the football teams, okay? Nor is
So
Wolverine.
No, I can rant about Deadpool Wolverine if you want. We can ask Chad. Do you want to talk about football or to hear me rant about how much I hate
Sky Blue
Deadpool
Indy said
Wolverine?
no.
I want to circle back to that.
Voting because you don't
I'm gonna
want to
circle
talk
back
about
to that.
football.
Justin Fields
You know what? We
performance.
got time. We can circle back to
Yes.
both of them. Let's go
That-
back to football real quick. Okay, we
God
can
damn
stick
it.
with
So-
NCAA. Yeah,
so
because
I was
I'm only on my second beer. Give me my third beer and I'll really rant. So let's go.
So we were scheduled to start streaming that night. It was Monday night. We were supposed to schedule at 7:00. So it was 3 of us. One of us was out, and then it was me, Dave, John Clark, and then Connor McKnight jumped on as our special guest. And we had agreed that we weren't going to talk football about it, but I've got the TV on in the corner, and I'm like watching along, and I'm
You're a
trying
Bears
not to
fan.
like.
You gotta
I'm
watch it.
I'm trying not to freak out about it because it was like one of those absolute breakthrough. It
Yep.
seemed like, and then I think they
You
didn't
thought
they
we
like
had
not
QB1.
and then they didn't win another game for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
sucks.
remember that game
We
vividly
all-
because I watched it on
Yeah.
my projector against the garage in my backyard, and I was thinking, everybody was throwing the QB1 party, the score, we're just
yeah.
through the QB1
Yeah.
party after that game. It was just like, oh,
It was so exciting for the time, and it just
Are we
was.
surrounded by Justin Field stands? Yes. Kind
no.
of. I don't know. I
So,
did.
I'm not a
I gave
stan.
up. I gave
Like,
up.
Yeah,
yeah. At
Yeah, I
some
think
point you have to
we
give
all
up,
gave
yeah.
up. Yeah, we all gave up. Whatever.
Yeah.
Williams is fine. It's just, I mean, look, the Bears always win the postseason or sorry the off season like hype,
We have
essentially,
won
right?
3 in a row. Yeah.
and we're gonna win it
in a
again. See, we're already on track. We got Ben Johnson. He's bringing in all the people, and Virginia died. So there you go. Hype.
she was a sweet lady. She was a sweet lady.
Oh yeah, Virginia
Here's a
had
sweet
nothing to
lady.
do with what was going on.
Dude,
She
come
wasn't
on.
the problem.
We know
She wasn't the
we-
problem.
I mean, she was though. She just brings in her idiot son to like continue, like Eberflus, and like how ass backwards, like
Yeah, but
the,
that's
the,
not her
the whole
doing that.
thing happened. Come on,
But,
dude. It's
You
her
just
doing
made,
like
you just made
she's
a
not. She's not a
conspiracy
saint.
connection.
She's not a saint.
Something-
She's not a saint, dude. Come
I
on.
never said she was a saint.
Yeah, Virginia was
She's
the
very
problem only if you think them not selling was the problem. Yeah.
She was a sweet lady. I met her once. She's very nice.
The problem
but-
was, yeah,
Yeah,
was
go ahead. So
that
you met her once. She's
they-
very nice.
they were bad at hiring their advisors when they were trying to find new GMs and new coaches. They were just really bad at because they would ask other NFL teams.
Yeah.
So they had no way to network outside of other NFL teams. They didn't have any system to like, all right, who is the new GM that we should hire? They had no way of knowing. And so the problem wasn't like Virginia. It was George, and he
Well,
had no network to
But
go
again, I know. But here's the thing: Virginia was the one that put George in. She wanted nepotism, straight
no,
up.
that was
right?
the board. That was the board.
Oh, come on!
board
Is it the
put
board?
Jordan.
No,
Well-
come on! It was nepotism, dude. Like, you think Virginia didn't have like was putting her finger on the scale on that? Come on.
Well, Michael
I mean,
Michael
she-
got sick. Yeah, Michael got sick.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Yeah, you're right,
Eberflus
sick.
Eberflus is now in Cowboys, so have fun with that in Cowboys as a DC. I mean, defensive coordinator.
He'll be
sure,
fine as a
is
DC.
fine. He
He'll
will
fine
be.
as a DC. Yeah.
Well, the Cowboys are disappointing, which I love that they're disappointing. Fuck them. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Everyone likes to hate on the Cowboys.
yeah. I mean,
What-
Let's see.
America's favorite unfavorite team.
yeah.
you guys
America's
think
favorite
another-
favorite team.
The
Exactly.
new NFL salary cap increase. Any
Oh my god,
thoughts
it's
on
gonna
that?
be massive. So like
It already was
Yeah.
released, I think, 281.5 million.
for this
So-
year, yeah, but it like what they're gonna raise it to in the next 5 years is gonna be astronomical. Because I was it you that posted that? Or was that Danny that posted that? Tom.
No, that was somebody. I think it was Danny that posted that one.
It was Danny. Okay, so yeah, we're in this Facebook group called Hall Water Cooler, and I run the group, and I am very rigid about who I let in because I don't want people just.
Gatekeeping
shit
JP.
talking.
That's what he's known for, guys.
Oh yeah, I want people
Very
that,
positive group.
people that people that bring in like interesting discussions and not just
Not just
Oh, I want to
Jorge's.
just trash.
No,
you know,
Not the
I'm
Jorge's
just
of the
looking.
group.
I'm just looking at the camera right now, and I'm just like seeing our guest, like he's literally like squeezing the lemon, like everything. He's making his cocktail right on that. Like, and
Nice.
I'm the asshole that just like got a beer can. And I'm like, I ain't. Here you
Yeah.
go. Oh, by the way, Tank beer. That's what I'm drinking now. Hopewell Tank beer.
Well, that's a good one. I was at Hopewell a couple of weeks ago. That
Oh
was
yeah.
that was yeah, that
Where
was
are they at?
the winner as far as we were concerned. They're kind of Logan Square-ish. They're on Diversey Avenue, like over by Milwaukee.
Yep.
Um,
That's
By
Logan
the way,
Square, for
in
sure.
I think in Logan, it must be in Logan Square. Okay, my favorite beer company, Moors, Moors. They finally actually have a location right in Logan Square. Definitely check those guys out. I
nice.
told you guys before. I met like the
Hipsters
people that
make
were
the
like
best
promoting
beer.
that stuff. In Southside, like the 16th Street bar that I was go to. Shout out to 16th Street bar, by the way. Where's the oh shit? That's right. I forgot. Hey, since Yadu over here is Yadu. Sorry, our resident Gen Z correspondent. How's Gen Z
Forgot
looking?
about. Yeah.
Still bad.
Okay, cool, awesome.
It's still bad.
Anyway, awesome.
I
Thank you.
spent Valentine's Day drunk smoking cigarettes. So
Oh,
Oh,
what the
jeez.
fuck?
uh,
How'd you
that's still
land
better
into
than me, no
tobacco
matter
and
what.
nicotine? How'd that happen?
What happened to the Asian girl you met in the hallway or something of your building? We were talking about
She might be in the chat right now, actually.
in my building. Oh, that's a different.
No, he's Yadu's becoming a Rolling Stone. I'm just kidding. No, he's not. He's a. Let's not dox him.
I did go to a bar recently and did throw our tropical drink. So if the bartender that I talked to is in the chat, shout out to you. You were great.
Wait, Sky Blue Indy said
there
they
you
DoorDash Mickey D's. Sorry to hear that.
Oh, you don't know? I'm not gonna dox who Sky Blue is, but I know you met her. Oh, sorry, her, him, her, or him.
Him. Well, it's probably
Both.
obviously him.
It's both. It's
I'm
both.
sorry that
Nebulous.
happened to you.
And Chai Stab Crew, what's up? They nabbed him in Madden. Wait, what the fuck?
He was right.
Oh.
A lot. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, he's got a conspiracy thing here. Hold on. I think they kept Eberflus and Esther a year because they were thinking about BJ the entire time. So
Well,
They
they
were-
could have had BJ
Really?
the previous year. Yeah. Poles wanted
Mm.
Eberflus to succeed.
Poles wanted because Poles really thought Eberflus was their long-term culture guy. He really
Oh yeah,
thought it.
no, for sure. He thought he was his guy. He fucking tossed Fields off. Fields was not the problem, guys. Fields was not the problem.
It was
Chai Stab
a
Crew.
problem.
Well,
He was a
he
problem.
was not a passer. He was a guy that if he didn't read the defense right, he was going to run,
Michael Vick style.
and you can't have that. Yeah.
Michael Vick.
Well,
yeah.
Michael Vick was better than Fields.
Lamar Jackson is what people
come
were
on, of
wanting to
course.
put him as. Lamar Jackson,
Yeah.
because he was
Even
a runner.
if he was, you know what? Even if he was Jalen Hurts, because his
We cannot listen to
comps-
Jorge about football. Fuck you, Chai Stab Crew.
his comps, he comps with Jalen Hurts pretty well. Like if he was plugged into the Eagle system, he might perform like Jalen Hurts.
He needed
It's
a
a
higher.
You know,
Yeah, but he needed to be more. Jalen Hurts is like 20% better a passer than Justin Fields in terms of completion
Accuracy
percentage
for,
and
like,
being able to
yeah.
accuracy, and that's the difference between a guy who's an NFL starter and a guy who is on the boundary of being an NFL starter. So that's the
Yeah.
difference between a Super Bowl winning quarterback and a guy who's going to have trouble making the Steelers next year.
yeah. I think he's gonna be on the Jets.
Yeah, they were talking about
Yeah,
the
they-
Jets. He's going to replace like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers will go back to the Vikings. It's been
Don't go to the
prophesized.
Jets. Don't go to the Jets, Justin. That's
Yeah, he
it
should've.
makes sense in my mind because they hired a DC, and he fits well with a team that's going to be heavily defensive oriented, where he could actually just control the ball and get his first downs with the legs and not have to worry about the passing stats and just keep the game close. And that's how he's going to get his wins.
By the way,
That's
I like
what he did
the
with Pittsburgh.
I like the Wu Tang shirt you're wearing. By the way, I just noticed that.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah. Wu Tang's for the kids. Hey, speaking of the kids, though, resident
It's
Gen
for the-
Z
it's for the
expert.
children. It's for
It's
the
for the
children.
children. It's for the children. Resident Gen Z expert
we
over
all-
there. Do you guys like football anymore, Gen Z?
I'm not. I've never been big on football though.
Okay. All right. I
That
feel
was
like it might.
Some
Our
people care.
Correspondent is done.
correspondent's done. We got to talk about Gen Z stuff, which like MCU Gen Z stuff. Is MCU still? Oh wait, actually,
He
that's
does
what I
more
was. Let's go
slang.
back to that. Let's go back to like the DC animated stuff. To me, the biggest, bestest thing was Batman the animated series. We're talking like the '90s, right, or early 2000s, maybe '90s or early 2000s, right?
No.
I actually don't know whether or not Yadu. Have you ever seen that stuff?
The Mark Hamill Joker is. amazing.
No,
Yes,
I'm
Mark
familiar
Hamill
with the
Joker-
Mark
that was
Hamill
Mark Hamill
Joker.
Joker.
I'm familiar
Yeah.
with it, but I never like watched. I was never a big DC person.
Ooh.
But you never seen Batman the animated because
No.
that was prime, like the best.
No, it wasn't. No,
Oh,
Like
yeah.
animated. It was no, it
I've
was
Seen, I've seen
well,
your Batman show.
hands down.
I've
hands
seen your
down,
Bat-
it was
but
the
I've
best.
also saw Batman Brave and the Bold, and that show was fun. Aquaman was awesome. Blue Beetle was awesome. He was sidekicking
No,
at everyone.
every one of
episode.
those that you're talking about was all like action oriented. Let's be honest. Like animated,
Well-
Batman animated was just
it was
well
like
written.
comic book,
like,
old school. Fun.
No, it was like basically based off like we're doing like the stories themselves. Like
Detective
we're
stories.
writing like it was
Well,
detective
I mean,
stories exactly.
Sort of, but a lot of what they did in the original animated series, they was kind of made up on the fly. Like the whole origin story of Mr. Freeze, that all goes back to Heart of Ice in the original, I think it was first or second season. I think it was the first season of Batman the animated series.
Right.
You guys ever see that like that one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Some of that some of the
I think
other stuff that
Spider-Man,
they
the old
came-
Spider-Man show was better, I think.
But I want to kind of segue that to be the fact is that like a lot of like 90s and I was looking up just to make sure this was 90s, I think was the Batman animated, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it had to be.
Yeah, I think it was 90s, right? But a lot of shows in the 90s I think had more, I guess I would say like writers that were really trying to like, up and coming writers that were really trying to be like, writing like these very interesting stories. And I harken back to a lot of like shows that actually would always have these episodes that just were just well written. Quantum Leap was one. Highlander was another one. There's one episode in Highlander that I
Don't
to
know.
this
I
day
didn't know
always keeps in my
things.
mind
Don't know
was
what
that
is.
imagine like some dude who's a Highlander who's immortal, but he was mentally challenged.
But
And so
I'm
for his
excited they're
entire
remaking Highlander.
Wait,
the way.
educate me. What's
I
Highlander?
don't believe that. Oh, you don't know Highlander?
Oh, there's-
Tom, explain Highlander. Our guest will explain Highlander.
There could be only one. It's
So,
Yeah.
so basically, there's this. Oh God, how do I even explain it? Basically, it's this bit of there are certain people who are just immortal,
Really?
and there's this one guy who was born on the Scottish Highlands, and he's called the High. He gets
Is
referred
live
to as
action
the
or
High-
animated?
Live action.
live
live
action.
action.
Live action. It was
Okay.
originally it was
So this
it
Braveheart
was originally
looking
very
guy.
campy. Yeah, it was originally a very campy movie, and was it? Didn't
Mhm.
that come out in the '80s?
Yes,
And,
yes. The original Highlander. Yeah.
Sean
So
Connery
good.
playing a Spaniard with a very Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Didn't even try to hide it. But basically the
How
whole
would he play a Spaniard?
premise is badly. That's how it was.
Yeah.
That's how
It wasn't good.
I'm just thinking
But
like
the,
wasn't
the
good.
but the
what they had
series
for
the
that.
series was good though. Let's continue.
So the part of the gag is that when two immortals are near each other, they have to fight each other. Like they're
What?
compelled biologically to
Hancock.
fight each other.
To the death.
Right. Until the
Mhm.
point where the whole point is to try to get down to where there's only one left. Hence there's like the line, the catchphrase in the movie is from the villain is there can only be
there
one
could be only one.
Highlander.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
like Jet Li the one.
So it's
Right. And I think the last
Yeah,
Highlander technically rules the world or something like that.
something
the
like
one.
that. It's
Yeah.
it's
So like
it's
so-
it's a big dumb thing, but it's
it's a
fun.
big dumb
you know.
thing.
But no, but
He's saying
that's
it like it's good though.
let's-
Jorge's saying it
let's
like
go
it's
back-
good. I think he's
well,
romanticizing.
but let me go
horrible
back to
show.
what I'm saying. But no, hold on. Let me go back to what I'm saying. No, he's not talking about the show with the campiness. He was talking about the movie.
Okay.
The
Right, I was
movie,
talking
which was exactly. The show comes out. They had the Highlander show, which I think was on Sci-Fi Channel, or maybe it was
Oh,
before. Yeah,
Duncan
Sort of
McLeod.
thing. Yeah. Duncan MacLeod, the Highlander, right? Here we are, born to be kings. We are the princes of the universe. Okay, anyway. So,
Is that
regardless.
Undertaker, what the hell?
No, shut up. God, listen to me. All right.
I'm looking at
This
So-
was my This was my Farscape era on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Farscape.
Oh,
That's another one.
Such
Oh,
a
my
good
God.
show.
Hold on.
Such
Put a
a
pin
good
on
show.
that. Put a pin on that.
Damn.
Holy
All right,
fuck.
we'll put a pin on the Farscape.
So what I'm
discussion.
saying is like Farscape, like Highlander, whatever. Okay. So and Quantum Leap. So you would have these shows that were based off, well, in Highlander's case, it was based off, a movie. They made a show of it and all that stuff. And they would always have like every immortal that Duncan MacLeod, who himself is a Highlander, or sorry, he is the Highlander, but he was like himself an immortal, would basically face off this other mortal or whatnot, right? It was kind of like the monster of the week type of situation, right? Kind of like the X-Files, but it allows the writers to basically write very interesting stories. Like, okay, what if this? And like I said, one story that for some reason always stuck into my mind was the one that like, what if there was an immortal that he encountered that was mentally challenged? So he was an immortal that lived for hundreds of years or whatnot, but mentally challenged.
Okay,
right?
Sounds intriguing. Sure. Yeah.
It was a very intriguing show because obviously, like, Duncan is compelled to have to kill the guy, cut off his head.
Jesus.
You're supposed to cut off the person's
Yeah.
head, essentially, right?
Yeah.
But he felt pity for
No.
him.
Right. It was like, what do we do with that, right?
Maybe
Now,
that's
the
why
end-
he survived. Is the
No. But here's the thing: the end of the show, it was a very somber. And now, spoiler alert, if anybody, whatever, right?
No, we're
I
not
haven't seen
watching that. So you
The,
can spoil away.
right, exactly. But the mentally challenged Highlander, or sorry, I keep saying Highlander, Immortal. Sorry, the mentally challenged Immortal at one point just is tired of his life, right? And at the end of the show, he basically allows, because Duncan is nearby him, because like when when one immortal kills the other one, he just has to be nearby him and takes his quote unquote powers and becomes more powerful, whatever,
You love
right?
this show, dude. I can tell. You're
He,
so passionate.
puts his head, because he's mentally challenged. He loves trains and everything like that. So they go on a train track and he puts his head and his neck right on the rail as a train is coming
like
by.
Inception.
And that, right. And then he lets the train kill him and
Inception.
Duncan take his power.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Was it fucking Inception? I don't think it was
They
Inception.
did,
Shut
that
up.
was a big
Anyway,
part of it. They let themselves
was-
die, and that's how
yeah.
they got out of the
no,
limbo.
but what I'm saying is like that show or that episode was very like hard hitting, and you could tell like a writer was like, what if this happens when you have an immortal that essentially is tired of like being mentally challenged and understands his capability and just want to be killed by a train because he loves trains, you know?
That was like
Let's-
one
let's talk it
episode.
out.
But
It was one
hold on.
episode, but that's what I'm
Holy
saying is like
shit.
those 90s shows show that you have so many writers that were just trying to be like, okay, let me make a
90s had
story.
good shows, like even the Star Trek
Charmed.
Next Generation.
Charmed
was
was a good
Right,
phenomenal.
because
show.
it always had to do with the monster of the week. So the monster of the week allowed someone
Yeah.
to basically use their creativity to make something, out of that.
Mhm.
Farscape was another one.
Yeah,
X-Files
about
was the biggest example of that too.
In terms of monster in the like bottle episodes from Farscape, the first one that comes to mind was Crackers Don't Matter.
Whoa.
You guys remember that one?
Wait, what is that?
You got to remind me on that one. Go ahead.
That is
Demonetized.
that's not a racial thing. Maybe it should be, but but
Demonetized
that was
is
literally
crazy. Sorry, Twitch. We're sorry.
that was literally the title of the episode. It was Crackers Don't Matter.
God damn it, he said it again.
He said it again. So, the
By the way,
young,
most of us are Latino. Well, no, we have two Latinos.
Yeah,
do?
Caribbean. He's Caribbean.
I don't
Caribbean.
think-
Okay, yeah.
I don't think.
Okay.
there's any.
Yeah.
and it,
Spain
There
is
could be
good.
Spaniard in there, likely.
Okay, anyway, go ahead. Crackers don't matter. Go.
Crackers Don't Matter. All
Yeah,
right.
crackers don't matter.
So okay. Did you, for the young bloods out there, do you guys know the premise of Farscape?
Someone said amen.
You're going to have to explain to them. I'm pretty sure they didn't even know what Highlander was. Come on.
All right. Cool.
Fuck off.
So,
This show wasn't that
so
groundbreaking.
Oh,
So-
shut up! It was. You
It
were
wasn't.
born before
It
you.
wasn't.
It was.
All right,
It was.
all right.
no.
So
That's
It
what-
made you.
premise-
Your parents were watching
premise-
Highlander when they conceived you.
the premise of Farscape was some astronaut from Earth, an American astronaut, John Crichton goes up in a special experimental version of like, hey kitty, of the spaceship of like the space shuttle or something like that, with like a special drive or something like that, and gets sucked into a wormhole and gets dropped across the galaxy and gets picked up by a ship that's a prison ship where the prisoners have just revolted and taken over the ship and subdued the guards that were on the ship.
Like Spartacus. I was kidding.
Like kind of like yeah, like Spartacus. So there's this collection of there's like one, and this was done. This was like one of the last things. Like this was something that Jim Henson Company worked on. So like these are puppets.
Yeah.
Like the original Yoda and things like that. Like but like really
sick.
advanced because this is it's really cool puppetry, and like one of them is like a political prisoner who was a former king or something like that, and another guy was thrown in jail because he was in an interracial relationship or something like that. So
no,
everyone had like their yeah. So it was everyone was on the ship for a different reason, and at one point, so they all kind of like bound together. Like John Crichton, who's this lost Earthling trying to get back to home, and these escaped prisoners who all have their own things to worry about. And one of their things, this was a little bottle episode. It wasn't connected to the rest of the series.
She's making biscuits over
where they go through this like light field. They like picked up like a hitchhiker or something like that, and they're passing through this light field. And for whatever reason, when they're passing through this like field, they all start hating each other and arguing with each other. And they're arguing over, because they had picked up a bunch of supplies, they were arguing over the crackers. They were all hoarding these like saltine crackers.
I remember this now.
Oh, they were talking about
Right.
literal.
Oh my gosh.
Like literal crackers.
Has Gen
Like-
Z have been tainted that you guys think crackers is just white? Like there's a thing called saltine crackers, by the way. Was
Actual
that before
crackers.
you guys?
Yeah.
know that, but
Actual
like,
crackers. Like
Yeah,
Sounds like
actual
Lord of the
something like
Flies.
crackers
Lord of the
don't
Flies.
matter. My
You see,
So-
how
so
the
they were-
zeitgeist has just tainted so much.
So
by
they
the
were-
way. I don't know.
they were like they're like divided into two factions, and they were like hoarding all of these like, and the prop department showed up with like a bunch of saltines. So they're just piles and piles of saltine crackers that they're fighting over. And the whole bit was like that the Earthling was trying to get them to see reason and trying to not do it. And they figured out that what was happening was the hitchhiker was using the energy field to get them to turn on each other because he wanted to like harvest it or for whatever reason. And the Earthling wasn't affected because his eyes were so bad compared to all the other aliens that he was completely inferior, and he wasn't affected by
Nice.
the light radiation as
We,
much as
we also
everyone
had,
else
we
in the
did
crew.
have a request.
So he had an advantage by being physically inferior, which was like
Wasn't it kind of like a little bit of the premise of Battlestar Galactica too? Because like the reason that
I never actually saw that show.
no, the
Wait,
new one
you
I
never saw Battlestar Galactica?
Never
yeah,
saw
what
that
the
either.
hell?
No, I never saw.
Did you vet this?
hell.
Did you vet our host?
I watched like
I guess.
every episode of Stargate SG-1, and for some reason I never got around to
Oh.
Battlestar.
Oh
I
my!
got a big fan of that, dude, bro. Okay, first off, no, but I think
Oh, that's
the premise of Battlestar was the fact that like the Battlestar Galactica itself was actually a downgraded, not downgraded. It was just an older battle
commission. They were
Yeah,
gonna
it
put
was-
out a
yeah,
commission.
It was out of commission, and all the newer
Yeah.
ships were because like they had all like the best and stuff like that, but they were exploited
Okay.
by
Cylons.
the Cylons. Yeah, they were exploited by the Cylons. So Battlestar, the Galactica itself, was not exploited because it was just old.
no,
Okay,
because
that
they
makes
had
sense.
old technology that couldn't
Right,
be like
And that's why they
hijacked
always
or
had
something
they
like
always
that.
had
So-
like more
and that's why
conventional
they were-
weapons and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like I
There's
mean
a-
that premise I'm sure has been like who okay,
Edward
let's go
James
back.
Almost
Who-
was in that show.
Yeah.
Oh
Dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
You haven't
He was
seen
that
this
was a
either,
very
Gabe?
popular show for the time.
Oh my
Never
gosh!
heard of
Yeah.
that
I'm gonna
show.
like.
Didn't know
one of
existed.
the
Oh my
best,
gosh!
the best
This is
sci-fi
like one
channel.
of the best sci-fi
One
shows
of the
ever.
best sci-fi channel, like Sci-Fi
It's a
Channel
top
produced
3.
it too.
Top 3.
Yeah.
It's a top 3.
Yeah,
I've-
Shows?
It's a
it's a
top
great it's a
three.
great show. It's a great show. I would highly recommend Battlestar Galactica.
Where-
Yeah, dude, did you
Holy,
hear that?
like,
Resident
I
Gen
watched
Z.
through every single episode like at least
Battlestar
5 times.
Galactica.
I don't know. Hey, we'll put a pin in this, but we'll talk about
I think
actually
we're-
what I think is the best sci-fi shows. But keep going.
There's a what?
Okay, what
Deadpool
is the
versus
best side?
Wolverine.
What-
No,
you.
that like shows sci-fi.
Is it-
I think have expanded into outside of just like aliens and AI robots. Now they're like in
Sure. Or like
dark
Black Mirror, you know, like
microchips. Severance.
Yeah,
Severance is a
Black
perfect
Mirror.
sci-fi show.
Severance
Severance
is a
is
great
amazing.
show.
Oh, that's
Blade,
so
Blade
good.
Runner, Blade
Alright,
Runner,
I
like
I disagree
Dune?
on Severance.
Westworld.
It's not sci-fi. I think Severance is anti-capitalist.
Severance
not
is
sci-fi.
a sci-fi
no,
show
no,
that
hold on,
is
hold on.
anti-capitalist.
Wait,
You can do
yeah,
sci-fi-
yeah.
You can do sci-fi
It takes place in the
anti-capitalism.
past.
Yeah. No, hold on.
Severance
Blade
is
Runner
in the
is
past.
Hold on. No. Hold on.
Yeah, that's doable.
Anti-capitalism is not a genre.
Yeah, it is.
No,
Is it?
Sure is.
It's not a
Sure.
genre.
I think it's a theme.
You
not
have
a genre.
yeah,
sci-fi
it's a
shows.
trope.
You have horror.
It's a trope.
Like horror. Sorry. So you got horror movies. You got like romantic comedies, I guess, that could also be
Because-
anti-capitalism.
And
Like
because
it's not a genre.
it's also based on like 1960s vision of capitalism, and so it's definitely it's not really sci-fi because it's not futuristic. It's
It is- no,
mostly
no,
like
no.
going back.
It doesn't always have to be futuristic. It just has to
It
include
yeah.
technology that doesn't exist in our real
It's
world.
You know what?
Fiction.
You know what?
Fiction
Let's go.
exists.
Let's
Yeah,
go
I hear you
straight.
saying.
Let's go straight to the
No, it
definition of
is sci-fi.
sci-fi.
You're right.
Sci-fi?
No, I,
No.
I think it is
Where-
sci-fi.
Technology
Where-
that
where
doesn't
is-
exist in our world is sci-fi.
but it's
no matter
very
what.
anti-capitalistic, and I'm like, ooh, I'm
Because
watching.
it could be back
Where-
in the
where-
1800s, and they can have something that
True.
we don't have.
That's
No,
true.
no, you're
yeah.
right.
Like
Yeah,
20
you're right.
20,000
Oh, yeah.
Leagues Under the Sea would be sci-fi.
Yeah.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is still
Oh
sci-fi.
yeah, for sure. Well,
We don't
here's
know
the
that,
thing.
but yeah.
A genre of fiction that creatively depicts real or imaginary science and technology as part of its plot, setting, and theme.
Severance. A
That's
big
what
theme
science
of it
fiction
is technology.
Severance fits
Right.
that because
the
you know,
chip-
Where
yeah.
where's Firefly on the ranking of like sci-fi?
Firefly. I don't know that one either. I know Firefly is a DC
Oh my
villain.
gosh, it's like
Fire-
oh my, it's
Firefly
a
is
top
the-
5 thing.
Dude, Firefly is the
Wait.
reason why we have the MCU. Let's
Wait, we
be
didn't-
honest,
we
because of
didn't
the
talk
director.
about- We
Yeah.
didn't talk
No.
about the new
Yeah.
Batman show, by the way. The new Batman animated show that was on Amazon
Stop
Prime.
changing subjects because you don't know these these shows.
Damn it, JP, you
Hey,
see right
You
through me.
do,
Well, we
you
can,
know,
we can talk about.
I
we can
gotta
talk
bring
about
the Gen Z on this guy. He seems like he's out.
We can talk-
Where are you at?
Gen Z
Yeah.
correspondent has fallen asleep.
Gen Z correspondent because everything's shit. Everything's shit for Gen Z.
This is the elder millennial show right now.
Dude,
So,
Yeah.
a lot of Gen Z
Older
folks-
millennial and like Gen Xer over here. Yeah, basically.
Dude, like seriously,
talking-
these
we were
shows were
talking
done
about-
in like the
And like Highlander,
All right,
Farscape.
I want to ask
so
What was
Henry
the-
Cavill's
Real
gonna
quick,
be the
real
next
quick,
Highlander.
Hold on, I want to continue this before we move on to a topic. But speaking of sci-fi show, do you guys remember Lex? No, what's it called, Lex?
Yeah,
Mm,
I remember that show. That was on at
Lex-
like what? That was on at 11 o'clock at night on the South House.
They were definitely like, this is horny
Yeah, I don't know.
Farscape, wasn't it?
Oh, it was
Horny?
basically.
Yeah, horny
it looks like-
Farscape.
Yeah.
is
Fifth
what it was.
Element.
Yeah,
It looks like Fifth Element, kind of.
yeah. Well, which was
I mean,
another
the fifth-
great
fifth
sci-fi
element
movie.
is. Fifth
Oh.
element is.
Chris Tucker,
Fifth Element,
hilarious.
That's
I
how I
love
got married
Chris
to my
Tucker's
wife
character.
was because of Fifth Element.
What?
That's a.
Really?
That's
Yes,
How?
That's like
we
the
we
same.
both had the same
Yeah.
DVD, and
Yeah.
we both told each other that was our favorite movies, and it was just like, oh,
Love
You
at
and your
first
wife?
sight from there.
That-
Damn.
that was-
Wow! Congratulations, sci-fi.
I
love
concur with
couple
that.
there.
That was a reason I married my wife, but my story is a little bit different. In my initial story for her is she told me her favorite when I first met her. She told me her favorite bands were Alice in Chains and Tool.
Oh,
my
I
God.
don't know either of those bands.
dude,
Oh my
Seriously?
god.
I don't.
I do. Do you know those bands? Yeah, I do.
Hell
Alice in
no.
Chains.
Can I,
Hell no,
hey,
he
can
doesn't.
I marry?
Hell
All right,
no.
can I marry your wife? Because I want.
Whoa.
I've been trying to get my wife to like Tool for the longest time.
I just,
I can stomach it.
I just
Bush Light,
noticed
Fifth Element,
next-
KP, take your
next
W's
guest.
when you can.
yeah. Next guest.
I know.
We're gonna
Obvious
need
joke.
like
I
a.
know, I know.
The Fifth Element W is pretty
Your
is pretty awesome. That's a
It is your
W to
wife,
hang on
so.
to.
We got a question from the chatter. Is your wife single?
What the
So
hell
I
is
just
Tool?
noticed we definitely next guest we definitely need like a Gen Zer guest or something because we lost
There's
our
like-
youngins.
He's done
It's
it.
okay. This builds character. He needs to learn. He needs to learn about other generational.
I'm
shit,
so
man.
tired of character building, man.
Oh,
He just-
hold on,
He just
why?
started his chapter in life. He just started the game. Like, what are you talking about?
I
Look
don't
at
think I
Jorge.
need that much character.
Character
JP.
building,
What?
dude. You're only
You know-
dude, bro, come
You ever play
on.
Skyrim?
Character. Look at
You ever play
me. Look at
Skyrim?
look at JP. Look at our guests.
Your level
I mean,
is
shit,
not
look at
ranked
Gabe.
yet. Whoa.
No,
whoa.
no, what I'm saying is this, that dude, I will tell you this: character building. You're tired of character building. Well, guess what, dude? You're always going to be character building, okay? And it's going to
Always.
happen, and it's going to build you to either a better person, hopefully, or a worse person, like Elon Musk. Who knows? Whatever.
Yeah.
But regardless,
Mandatory
What?
Elon Musk this.
which is another reason why I can't watch Iron Man anymore. By the way, that's the other problem.
That's Iron Man too.
What?
Oh,
because
God.
of
Yeah.
because of Elon.
Because he has
of
one
Elon.
cameo in what, Iron Man 2?
Yes,
Whoa.
Elon is literally a Nazi running our country. So yes, fuck that guy.
But
Yeah,
people,
exactly.
There
people,
we
like, people who
Low
think
key it.
I'm
I hate the comparison
gonna
when
comment
people
on
like
that.
Elon Musk is real life Iron Man. No, he's not. He's just an investor. He's not a fucking
But
genius.
the problem was that in the early 2010s
Yeah,
and stuff like
definitely not a
that,
genius.
he had basically the PR that made everybody believe that he was it. And I mean, even like people were talking about, like writers were talking about the Iron Man was based off of him or some bullshit like that, right?
Did you see the
I
video
never
of
believed
him?
him
Like
again,
they're
like-
touring
Yeah.
SpaceX and they ask him something, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking
Oh yeah,
about.
no, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. The interviewer
Alright.
actually tells him what it is, and then he uses it for another interview. Anyway, regardless. So
So
go ahead. Yeah, and actually, I'm gonna get
I
on
was
my other
gonna-
drink.
I was
KP.
gonna- I
You
was
just
gonna
went a
break us
political
to,
Elon Musk rant there. Oh my god.
no, I want to bring us, since we went to politics, bring this back to OWS where me and TJ go back.
It's like a long way.
Dude, like I can't remember what the fuck I was even chanting when I was doing the protesting down like the downtown streets on
LaSalle and
LaSalle. And,
Whacker.
yeah,
problem,
and I'm just like,
Jason.
what the fuck was I saying? Like
You don't
I don't
even know
remember
what
saying
you're
that
saying.
shit, but I was there.
LaSalle
That was God. I remember. Yeah, it's Occupy Chicago, which was
Oh, I know.
It was
20
amazing.
Guys.
2011. Well,
Yeah.
it was the dudes at the Board of Trade like put up those like signs of like we're the 1% paying for this or some shit like that,
Mm.
which was, but as like a political activism thing, like it was tactically genius. I will always say that the Occupy strategy was tactically very good
Well,
because it was just
It created
we're-
Bernie Sanders.
right. It created Bernie Sanders.
Who lost?
Yeah.
You know, who
Well,
lost
yeah.
and you know
Because
I don't
Democrat machine, just kind of
Well-
really railroaded him.
Yeah, he-
They could have they
he
could have
should've
got
been
behind
the-
him.
they
like,
could
they
they could
could've,
have
like,
they could
know.
have
Well,
They
people
could have-
associate Bernie Sanders way too much with socialism, and that's what prevents him from being the nominee usually.
which is
Well-
not a bad thing.
Wait
Yeah,
a minute.
because
my
AOC
opinion.
is going to be the next one, and
You
she's going to be
think?
associated with that. Oh yeah, for
She's
sure.
awesome. God,
Wait, you
she's
think
smart.
what?
She's
Who's
smart
gonna
as
be
a-
who?
AOC is going to be the
man.
next president.
You think she's
Yeah.
gonna be the next president?
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
In
I'm gonna
4
say-
years?
That's actually not a bad theory because think about how bad George Bush was, and it gave us Obama.
yeah.
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true.
But
Accelerationism
The
is a
fact
legit
that I
thing.
can remember that is like telling.
She's got the charisma. She's really like I
Kinda
watched.
Shabby.
I don't mind AOC,
right,
but I just
I think AOC is a unifying enough force for like left-leaning people. I think Biden and Kamala Harris were just not unifying enough for the left-leaning
Well,
portion
I
of
mean,
America.
especially after Gaza too. So
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
the other thing.
I
see,
think
Gaza didn't cause them votes. What caused them votes was the fact that inflation was crazy, and the fact that that got put on every single administration that existed during that time.
Basically,
It
I
wasn't
mean,
really,
Labor got UK, because of the
yeah,
inflation. Like Conservative
exactly.
Party lost there, so it was the other way
Yeah.
around, right?
Like if Trump was president,
yeah.
he would not have won this election.
Well, he didn't win because of COVID. That was his basically loss. But then
Yeah, people
because
would
he was
always say
there,
if he had existed from 2000
right?
to
And Biden's
2024,
like
he would have
DOJ
lost.
with like Merrick Garland
Yeah.
was fucking feckless and didn't actually
Really,
prosecute
like,
him, which was
yeah.
so
Well, I'm not
fucking
even like
annoying.
I'm not even worried about all that shit because like they would have found a way around that shit anyways. They would have ran it up in the courts, and
I mean,
like
they did. He
people
spent
are
millions of
Well,
dollars basically like
well, I mean,
delay.
here's the thing about the courts is that
I don't think
you're the
AOC
guy to talk to about this.
I know, I know. I'm
So,
the
boom,
I'm the
yeah.
attorney here. I'm the federal court attorney.
Oh, okay, yeah. We don't talk about that.
He drew a very favorable judge in Florida,
Oh,
and
Oh, yeah.
judges.
Eileen Cannon was corrupt. Clearly
Well,
corrupt.
it's judge assignments are random,
Mm.
and every judge is a little bit different, and
Yeah.
he could have gotten a completely, by the roll of the dice, he could have gotten a completely different judge in Florida, and we're talking about President Kamala Harris today.
Yeah.
That's
I would
which kind of makes me sad because and like Kamala Harris reminds me a lot of my wife in a lot of positive ways, and that makes me very sad because I'm pretty sure my wife could do as good a job running the country as anybody else. So
yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
total.
One thing that I was told, which someone that also was like really sad, which was telling, was just like, it was basically my wife basically told me this. One thing that I heard her like kind of like quake her voice a little bit too is just the fact that like, oh, I guess the United States preferred a criminal over a woman, at the end of that, and that just was, I mean, it was, that was her take. And
There's some truth to that.
It's more than that though. Right?
It's sad.
I'm not by
It's
any
really where we're
way a
at.
Trump fan at all. But he was.
Oh, you're totally a Trump fan. What are you talking
I'm
about? You were a
not.
Jordan Peterson fan at one point. By the way, guys, Tropical Drinks lore.
Oh God.
First,
We all have weird.
I'm an academia fan.
So
I'm an academia fan.
To Gabe's point, there are different reasons why people support Trump. It's not all one big
Exactly.
monstrosity. They're
Oh,
all
yeah.
separate
Going back-
reasons.
There's a bouquet of reasons.
I think if you support Trump, it's not that people have said it a lot. It's not that you necessarily support a racist, but you're very okay with the racist things he says.
You're okay.
Right.
Exactly.
Because
Right.
I'll never figure out how he managed to convince like working class America that he was their champion. Like that always confused
I
me.
don't understand that either. I don't understand.
Bring it back to the
I happen to personally know
I'm a
people.
billionaire. I'm going to help you make
Yeah,
money.
I know
Right.
people right now who voted for him, and now their welfare just got taken away because of his
Oh,
administration.
dude, we still have like the Latinos for
The lepers
or
are very full.
yeah, you have the Hispanics for Trump. That lady that just like, we're gonna vote for Trump, and literally like, what was it, a week ago or 2 weeks ago? She's just like, basically trashing Trump right now. That
The
lady.
Venezuelan lady.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Leopards eat faces. Oh boy.
I saw that.
I've got a story on that. I've got a story on that kind of ties together a couple other things. I went
Ties together Marvel.
well, no, well we can. There's some doesn't tie together Marvel, but I went to the Bears Patriots game at Soldier Field this year,
football.
the weekend after the election, and horrible.
The worst game, by the way. It was a horrible
terrible.
game. Jesus Christ.
Terrible, depressing, and
Oh, yeah. So depressing. It's like the election happens and the Bears just.
And
sorry, go ahead.
the crowd at Soldier Field, because of the demographic that you're getting, skews a little more right than the
Yeah.
city of Chicago. I was sitting in the upper deck with my cousin, and some like really nice guys to the right of us, who were sitting to the right of us, Hallis Hall water cooler worthy fans, I will say, very bright guys. But there was this guy in front of us with his brother, two Latino guys, and this dude comes in an fucking Eagles jersey, and he's like cheering for the Patriots, like really loud, because he says that his brothers. I don't know. I ain't going to try to explain it. His brother's a Patriots fan or whatever, and he like goes in. There was like something in it. He got into it with the guys, with some like guys next to him. He was like saying like Trump's my man. Like, dude, he's like a second father to me. And I just bust out laughing. I started laughing my ass off. And he thinks I'm with him. And he's like, yeah, this guy knows what I'm talking about. And I'm like, you fucking fool. Like, and it's like, no, man, like, I got my papers. Like, it's like, I said, like, he fucking hates you. And it's like, no, man, I got my papers. I'm all good. I'm all legal and all that kind of stuff. It's like, it doesn't matter. He hates everyone who isn't in his little country club ass clique. He hates me too. And you can vote for him and you can respect his politics, but don't act like he's your fucking friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he shut his ass up for the rest of
it. There is Some More News, which, by the way, shout out to Some More News, a really good YouTube. I would highly recommend those guys. They had a video just recently about Dear Trump voters, his policies will hurt you too, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of them just really do not understand, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's switch it up.
Well, wait, before we switch it up, I'm just kind of like distraught that you guys really think that AOC is a great 2028 candidate. I don't think so.
Here's the thing.
I think
only has an undergrad degree.
I will tell you that she is a slam
doesn't have
dunk.
She's more likely to rally. Like,
nah.
I'm sorry. Just because she doesn't have an undergrad degree, do you think Trump has like the fucking qualifications educationally? Come on, don't give me that shit.
Yeah, but his base doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, we know his education. It's bullshit,
dude. If Cory Booker is more educated, he can do it.
He's a corporate Democrat, man. He's a corporate Democrat.
Cory Booker just voted to allow all the Trump nominations to go through, so that guy's done for.
Yeah,
what I would
Booker's
say.
done.
What I would say,
Rahm Emanuel from Chicago.
Stop,
dude, are you kidding me?
He might do it. He might do it.
The only
Adams runs.
Yeah, dude, the only Democrat that I think would be a good run would be one of the governors, and I personally, Pritzker.
Kamala,
I fucking
again.
love Pritzker.
Kamala
Our great
again.
con
Oh, yeah.
Pritzker, right?
Yeah,
Love that
because
dude.
Gretchen Whitmire just
you love
denied
Pritzker?
minimum wage increases.
Yeah, Pritzker.
Yeah, so-
Yes,
That's
the
confusing.
guy's awesome.
That's
By the way,
He's
That's
phenomenal.
another billionaire. You were just
He
talking
is
about
really good.
billionaires.
but side note. Here's the
Pritzker
thing.
family-
Look, I would
Let me
be
keep it going.
very hopeful. Well, dude, look at what
I'm
he did for
scared of him,
Illinois and stuff like
honestly.
that. It's completely like he
What?
did a great thing, very progressively. Which I didn't vote for Pritzker at the very
Explain
beginning.
What do you do?
Well, okay, so one of the
I'll
first
tell you
things.
right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm in local government. There's like probably 70 programs you don't know exist that help minorities like start businesses. Like you could get like, say you want $1 million loan, Illinois will give you 50% off on that loan and give you 2% lower interest than any commercial bank. Illinois will do that kind of shit for you. If you go to Texas, they won't do that. If you go to Florida, they won't do that. Pritzker does that stuff so that it helps minorities get their foot in the door. And then there's also pretty much you could get a 10-year half off discount on if you're a business and you want to hire people, you only have to pay for 50% of the income tax that you pay employees.
Awesome.
And so you are automatically given a huge boost up to be a major business player in Illinois because of that.
And there was
So
other
there's
two.
things like that.
I don't trust.
And there was other
governor.
two big
what I
ticket
feel like.
things. And there was other two big ticket things that he did. I think I explained this to you before as well. One, he basically, no more private prisons in Illinois. That was one thing, right?
That's a good thing.
Rauner,
That's great.
who was our previous governor, was actually a dude that invested on private prisons, which is a whole.
He actually
fucking shit.
fired half the EPA staff. As well.
Right. And then the second thing, was the one of the first bills that he wrote was that Illinois business or any businesses that like would ask anybody that lives in Illinois cannot ask you what your previous salary is, which was really good, especially for women that would always be paid less and all that stuff.
Just say, like,
all right, everyone. Okay, actually, damn, everybody's going to the bathroom right now because I actually wanted to like get out of politics
it's a good
for a
time
bit.
for a bathroom break. Let's do that. Let's make it.
I guess so. Break. Yeah, I guess so. Everybody's going to the bathroom. What the fuck? All right, I can't hold it down. Now that Max just came in, JB Pritzer over here. Max said it. Dude, our Connet, JB Pritzer, man. I fucking love him. But I wanna preface back to AOC real quick. Look, I would be hopeful. I will tell you this. I would be hopeful that AOC becomes president. I would love that. I honestly would love that.
I wouldn't.
Do I think it's going to happen? That's the part that I'm pessimistic about that. Like, that's why I would
because you have the Democratic elite's going to block her.
Well, they already because Pelosi already blocked her in terms of that, talking about seniority. That was like cancer, essentially, right? Like,
that actually made her more powerful because it put her onto another committee.
Exactly. That's the problem is that she's still more
Pelosi
powerful.
doesn't know. Yeah.
She probably
she makes a Twitch. She makes a Twitch like what do you call it? Like Among Us like stream, which I think to this day is still the biggest, most watched Twitch stream in history.
I would say anyone who is skeptical about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, watch the questions she asks during congressional hearings.
Yeah, just watch.
That's
usually available.
Watch C-SPAN. Just watch
C-SPAN. Yeah.
No, I mean I'm dead serious. I mean that was one reason why
endorses C-SPAN.
That's one reason why I loved Kamala is because. But if you watch, you can tell people. Maybe it's different just because of my experience from law school and being an attorney. Is that there's an art to knowing what questions to ask.
Your credentials are better than
how to phrase it.
Speaking of congressional hearings, the fact that RFK got confirmed is insane to me.
No. He's gonna get confirmed. They're going to get confirmed regardless.
He already did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're going to get confirmed. It's just like all it is like you just gotta wait for them to fuck up, and then that's what I don't know, whatever. You know what?
I don't have enough. All right. I don't have enough.
Let's get.
I don't have enough rum to get through an RFK conversation.
Dude.
I've got a lot of rum in my house.
I want to talk about the.
Well, no, hold on. Is it politics?
It is. It's about like having somebody with a voice. So like, I am actually running for local office, and
yes,
probably gonna win.
Yeah.
And there are.
Smart as they come.
People on the board that are very good at keeping people accountable. And it pisses off people. Keeping people accountable. And it's like, and they lack certain tact. And
okay. All right, so, we got you, buddy. All right.
No. I'm trying to get to the point of the AOC where she has that tact, where she has these hard-hitting questions, and you need to ask those questions.
I think,
and you need to make people feel uncomfortable.
I'm going to say this: 100%. She is what she does is great. I think everybody here, except maybe Gabe, loves AOC, and I would like say that stuff.
I don't mind her. I just think she's too green to be a presidential candidate.
Too green, dude. How many years has she been in already, man? Come on.
Too green.
I would say don't take our word for it.
Yeah.
Don't take our word for it. Like you can
AOC's
Go to
been
her
there like
district.
what, like
You can
7
totally
years now
see.
already.
You can totally see for yourself. That is not.
I've
A lot of
seen
people
clips of her and
All
whatnot.
right, all right, all right.
watch long form. Watch long form.
By the way,
Watch
what
the long
is the
forms,
proper?
yeah,
What
for
is
sure.
the proper? What is the proper structure to help you decide on a candidate that best fit your needs? What do you think is the template
You
that
gotta
Gen
get.
Z
I think you got to
going
get.
at new voters should be doing? Me, myself, AOC. You're saying she's a good
You gotta
candidate.
get the word
But
class. It's plain and simple.
Got a what?
I think you. I think you
You
do
gotta
have
get
to
the
look.
word class. Sorry.
What are you saying?
I think you do. I think you do have to like get into policy proposals and like get into the weeds because
Okay.
changes to a statute can make a big difference. Kind of like
Policy proposals are very important. Yes.
no, but more than policy proposals is it's looking at what the existing statute says. Like you can go like the Illinois, for example, the Illinois compiled statutes are free online to view by anyone. You can look it up. You can just
Better
Google it
damn well
and you
be.
say what's the
I'm
law.
a constituent. I better be able
Well,
to see the
yeah,
laws.
yeah. That's the thing is that you can look it up. Sometimes case law is a little harder to look up to, but there are places like Westlaw and Lexis that use a subscription. But there's also I think the Cornell University Law School puts a lot of stuff online. And as far as reading that material, you can get into the weeds as as a novice. You don't need a law degree to do it. Every person who is a lawyer was at one point a novice reading these cases for themselves in law school. And you can Google what case is controlling in such and such, like in asylum law. You can Google what case is controlling in asylum law in the United States. And you can see that for purposes of asylum, it doesn't matter how you came into the country. It is a non-factor. It is literally moot. You can come into the country legally. You can come into the country illegally. If you apply for asylum in the United States, that will not affect your application. And by law, you cannot be deported while your application is pending. Period. Full stop. That's the law. I think a lot of people have a sense of what's legal and illegal without knowing the actual law.
Yeah.
And that's something that, like, when I was in law school, I graduated in 2019. So we dealt with a lot of stuff from Trump Part 1. And I got involved when I was in law school with the ACLU. And someone from the
Part 1.
Illinois ACLU was nice enough to come down and give a talk to us students about what was going on with the child separation policy. How much of that was actually derived from the Obama administration. And it wasn't nothing. But also the ways and how they could tell this particular policy was deliberate and how it was violating the law and why it was violating the law and why these people were here completely legally and why it was nonsense that they were being treated the way they were. So that's something, and you can ask people and they will tell you. Lawyers are usually, I don't want to bore you with the law that I do, but lawyers are usually willing to talk about fields generally that they're in. You can ask an attorney about that. You can find one, or you can actually, the best resource is law school professors. You can go to the list of professors who are teaching at like Chicago Kent, my alma mater, or UIC Law School,
I have a few clients from you. Yes, I have a few professors at law school. Yeah, of course.
Right. You can just email them and say, hey, what's the deal with this? Usually their emails are kind of public information, and you can just like, if you just ask and not yell at them and just say like, what's the deal with this particular thing? There's a decent shot they'll get back to you with a concise answer. So there's a lot of misunderstanding about what the law is and what it's not. And I think people don't get that. And that's where asking the right question really comes in. And you can tell with just a little bit of practice, if you watch enough of this stuff, Like if you watch a full congressional hearing, you can
It's-
tell
you
who's
can tell it.
serious, who's
Yep.
done their homework, and who's not. And to circle back to bring it all the way back to AOC, she's either herself or whoever she's paying in her office, which is an underrated factor to this.
Yep. They're
is
giving her the right
doing-
questions.
Yes, they're doing their homework. They're reading up on this. They're reading up
I
what the
think she should have
statutes
a law
are.
degree then
They're reading
before she thinks she can qualify to be president.
I think
Well,
she's
no, that doesn't make
okay.
actually
Does
no.
Does Trump have a
I
law
think
degree? Trump doesn't have a fucking
No.
law degree in his
Did I
head.
say
Come on.
No,
Trump
yeah,
is
but I think
qualified to be
she's-
president? Did I say that?
Hey,
Okay,
I'm
okay,
totally
okay,
cool
okay,
with
okay,
making
okay.
having a law degree or being past the bar at a qualification for
So-
president. As an attorney, I'm cool
y-
with that being being a factor. If we
Yeah.
want to amend the
Yeah.
Constitution to say
But
that a
y-
person has to be 35 years old with a law
A
degree,
good president
Yeah.
needs to be somebody that has people surrounding them that are good people that should be able to advise them on those things.
But
So
they
you don't
should-
have to
100%.
be.
No, they should have
a
gone
lawyer.
through rigorous study. I'm a math major, okay? I would not want someone to expect me to give them the rigmarole on law, okay? I would not want that. I wouldn't want them to expect that from me. If someone's the president of the United States,
And why would
and
you
they're-
expect that from the president?
Because
Stop right
they
there.
have
Why would you
they
expect that
have
from the president?
direct control on what laws can be passed as well. They
But no, it's not just about that. It's not just about direct control. It's about having the right advisors.
yeah.
So
but
you don't
you have
have
to have
to
know
be
those
a
someone
guys.
who
lawyer.
can.
They're shadows in the dark.
Well, that's
They're shadows in the dark.
you can, but you can tell from particular like
Yeah.
they do a press conference. Trump
Come
doesn't
on,
even
man.
know what the law. He doesn't even know what the law is.
You want me
He
to
doesn't
go
know what
from
the existing
Obama, Harvard, JD,
Hold on.
Harvard, JD,
Let's
to
go
AOC,
back to
bachelor's degree from
Ted-
Boston
let's-
University? It doesn't
Hold
make
on.
sense.
Hold on a second.
It doesn't
Let's
make
go
use
back
a
in
good
American
school,
history.
though.
Let's go.
It
Let's
doesn't make
rewind
sense.
to let's rewind to Teddy Roosevelt.
What? Teddy
So-
Roosevelt.
Yeah. I'm gonna give
Roosevelt,
you
the
examples.
Rough Rider?
Very interesting guy.
Oh, man.
Very interesting
gonna-
guy.
He's
We're
good.
gonna roll some tape back. to
Cardi
him.
B's favorite president,
This-
apparently. No, Franklin D. Roosevelt.
This dude started off as pretty much far right, and one guy walked up to him one day, hey, we gotta go watch and look at the ghetto and see what's going on down there, and he went from far right to progressive
I'm sorry.
because of this visit.
It was
And
yeah. No,
He
he's
was
right.
proposed with a field trip. Okay. Keep going.
No, because TR wasn't he the chief of police in New York at one point?
Yeah,
He was
he
the
was
chief
a
of
hard
police in
right
New York.
person that wanted to beat the shit out of everybody that disagreed with the law. And then
Right.
one day he showed up and said, "I'm going to be the mayor of New York, and I'm going to make sure that we are going to take care of all of our residents, and we're going to be progressive as shit." And
Look-
the Republican Party was like, "You know what? We're going to make you vice president because we want to shut you the hell up."
Yeah,
And that's what they did to him.
Yes, that's true.
But wait, here's the thing. I want to circle back a little bit. Sorry, I actually spilled my beer, so I was listening. I was listening, but I was cleaning up the entire time,
Yeah.
and I had a lot of things to say. But I'm just gonna like roll it back, right, dude? Like again, this whole notion of like it's a double standard, which was always something that Kamala had to deal with and Trump never had to deal with. It was always a fucking
yeah.
double standard.
It's
In which,
perfection
like,
versus.
now everyone's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, AOC
Yeah.
is like not qualified. None of that, dude. What she's doing right now just absolutely
Qualifies
shows
her.
But
how
you're-
she's qualified.
you're
It doesn't
talking to
matter
me.
whether or not she
You're
doesn't have the
talking to me.
masters. For,
I
and
don't
yes,
think
I'm talking to you
Donald
right
Trump-
now.
It does
Actually,
matter. It does
But,
matter.
yeah,
It does
no,
matter.
it doesn't matter
It
because at the end of
does.
the day,
It does.
the
Her
current
credentials doesn't
president,
touch Kamala's.
the
It doesn't
current
touch
president
Kamala's.
does not
It
have
doesn't
any of
touch
that.
it. It doesn't
The
touch it.
entire. But that's the thing.
So
This is
Right.
where we lose.
Jorge,
This is
you
where we
ruined my
lose,
story.
man.
You ruined my story, man.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
Take a step back and
I'm
let me
sorry.
have this-
Well, I
let me
wanted-
have
I
this
wanted to-
He
moment.
was telling me about
Well,
Teddy, man. Go back to Teddy.
I
Tell me
know.
about
I
it.
actually wanted to go back to Marvel.
So
actually.
let's go back to Teddy. So Teddy is, going through this whole thing
Drunk
where he's
history over here.
trying
Shout out
to
to the drunk history.
trying to figure out what he wants in life and what he wants to do. So he's a guy that like
Cheers.
went out to
We didn't. We
the
didn't.
the
cheer, guys.
Western
We didn't.
the Western front
get
in
that
America where it was unsettled and you're trying to find gold and
I
all
love
that
your
shit.
tap for you.
And
I'm sorry, JP. Keep going.
and so he's doing all that stuff.
Let JP talk.
And so yeah, he like totally disrupted my train of thought. It's like I'm blaming you on that one, Jorge.
Talking about Teddy Roosevelt
Yeah,
going out to the West.
we got a straight up
So-
chatter that says whoever was saying that AOC is less qualified than Trump is dumb as shit. Ooh.
Yeah.
No one said
That's
a
that.
straight
No
chat.
one said
Well,
that.
so-
No
so
one said that.
With Teddy
No one
Roosevelt,
said that. No,
But
he
technically,
No
she
one
was
said
because
that. Yeah, no
Trump
one
was
said
president.
that. He was
No one
able
said
to-
that. Keep going.
he was able to turn the Republican Party into a progressive party because of him, because of what he did and what he accomplished.
And then Nixon
And they-
happened.
Hold on, and no. So they tried to shut him down, and so that by shutting him down, they made him vice president to McKinley. McKinley was assassinated in the first 6 months, and all of a sudden TDR was president. And they're like, "Oh shit, what did we just create?" And he became the most popular president in American history.
up to that point.
In American history.
At that point,
No,
yeah.
like he was more popular than FDR. Teddy Roosevelt went to form a third party, and that killed his popularity because he didn't want to be part of Republicans and Democrats. He wanted to form a progressive party, and he got shut down by both.
The
So-
Bull and
Yeah,
Moose.
the Bull
right?
Moose
Yeah.
Party. And
Yeah.
so, and then what
fascinating
happened was he got shot in the fucking chest, and then went
It's-
and did
it's
an
still a
84-minute
speech.
His
speech.
saved him.
Yeah.
And like, granted, he had like his speech protect him, like it hit like 84 pages of paperwork that he apparently had to like give a speech, but still, he was bleeding and giving a speech. But the
All
point is that you could change a party by being that change, not by saying, "Oh, fuck that, I'm not
True.
gonna do that." I'm like, you have
That's
to
true.
be that change,
Right.
and that's what AOC is doing. And that's why AOC
She'd
will
be a
beat
great vice
every
president.
fucking
She'd be a
person.
great vice president.
Ah.
Teddy Roosevelt was Harvard University, Columbia
Guys,
University.
it's-
Teddy
it's-
Roosevelt
Yeah,
was
but
Harvard.
dude,
Dude,
okay,
football,
here's
he
the
played
thing,
football,
here's the
he
thing,
was
here's the
a
thing.
football player
Get
at
the
Harvard.
fuck outta here.
He
Get
never
the
went-
fuck
that's
outta
bullshit
here.
what you're
The
saying.
fuck outta
Come
here.
on.
If
Bullshit
anything,
here.
if
Wow.
anything, we could have a ton of examples of people who went to Harvard and shit who are unqualified as
That's not
hell.
the point.
Yes.
That's not the
Ted
point.
Cruz.
That's
Look at
not
that,
the
Ted
point.
Cruz, for
That's a good
example. Like,
Yeah,
fuck
Ted
that
Cruz is
shit.
a bad
Dude,
example.
all that pedigree. That's why Jordan Peterson, for some reason, like everyone knows, like, oh, he's so like Harvard, like
You're
at
a
Harvard,
PhD
whatever.
in
like,
psychology.
This
Okay.
dude is a dumb
Alright,
fucking
Gabe,
shit.
Gabe,
But anyway,
what school
regardless.
did Trump
Fucking
go to?
Vivek
What
Ramaswamy's
school did Trump go
dumbass
to?
went to Harvard. I hate
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
Gabe,
right.
Gabe, what school did Trump go to?
Trump went to UPenn.
UPenn.
All right, so
Yeah.
fuck off with that argument.
Mm.
Wait,
Sorry,
All right.
say.
but what does that
All right,
have-
all right,
I'm not
all right,
All right,
arguing
you,
that
you,
Trump is qualified. I'm not, you're arguing to the wrong person. I'm not saying that Trump is qualified for me.
Full stop on all this
I don't mean
stuff.
to be harsh. I'm just saying.
There was one conversation. Sorry, that was one conversation that Yadu actually wanted to bring up, and I think it's actually kind of important. So it relates to Marvel, right? So everybody's
Marvel.
played Marvel.
Marvel.
Well, I've never played Marvel Rivals, but Marvel Rivals is one of the biggest games right
He's
now.
doing
out
great
there.
right now.
The
Doing great.
layoffs.
Layoffs, exactly. So
Yes.
essentially the entire US based team was laid off,
Not
right?
good.
Shit.
Which is recent news. Actually, it happened like what, a day ago, 2 days ago?
Yeah,
Or
it was
something like that?
yesterday. It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was
I think,
yesterday, right.
Because they announced it with a bunch of new shit from Marvel Rivals, and then they like kind of snuck that pill in that cheese.
Right. Now, and this kind of goes into politics a little bit because obviously the Gamergate dipshits and stuff like that like don't know what to say about this because this is pure capitalism at its worst.
Mm.
That you have a game that is doing very, very fucking well, and yet you still lay off the development team that got you there, right? And a lot of times though, NetEase, which is a Chinese company, might have done the layoffs because of the upcoming issues that they're going to have with tariffs and everything like that with the Trump administration. So part of this is really another thing that was affected by the current administration that they said, yeah, all right, you know what, we're going to lay off the US team at this very moment, even though this game is making us millions.
People
You
think
know?
Blizzard, because I mean, as far as I
Boycott
understand,
Marvel
it's only like
Rivals. Boycott. Yeah.
6
Well,
people.
I don't even play it in general because I'm
Jay
kind of
wasn't gonna
jaded about it.
boycott until he said it was a Chinese company.
No, I wasn't playing
Oh,
anyway. Yadu, you mentioned it, Yadu. I said, nah, I'm decent. I said I'm decent. I don't need.
All right, so
Um,
as a Marvel fan, Tony, Tony, God, Tom, sorry, I don't
Tom.
know why I said Tony.
You
Tom,
can
God.
get my name right. 2 hours
yeah,
and 2 drinks into talking about
I'm
it.
I'm
That
I'm
means
at
you're having a
I'm
good
at
time.
drink number 4,
Cheers to
3.
drink number
Okay,
4.
yeah,
Cheers to
I'm
drink
at
Yeah,
number 4.
cheers, cheers.
I'm
By
at
the way,
the
cheers,
Cheers
guys.
to your
here.
liver fighting for its life.
Cheers to the. Oh, by the
I'm
way,
at
I am
the
drinking locally, like from Chicago, Moore's Brewery. Here we go,
There we go.
Hey,
Moore's
I
Brewery.
I went
Highly
I went
recommend
with
these guys.
anyone watching on the stream. Who saw me making my second drink of the night with the shaker tin that I had over here. I made myself I went classic. I went with just the old Trader Vic style Mai Tai to go with it, using that Mai Tai blend that I have. There's this guy Kevin Crossman who makes comes up with amazing blends of rums for Mai Tais. Um, so and it's awesome. God,
nice.
it's
Send us all
so
rums.
good. Like
Really like your Mai Tais, right?
But I do because it's like because it's a medium that's designed for showcasing all the complexity you can get in an aged rum.
Right.
That's what's really cool about it because it's basically a rum margarita.
Whoa.
Mm.
At the end of the day, that's what a Mai Tai is. It's
I thought it was a fighting
orange
style.
liqueur. No, that's Muay Thai. That's Muay Thai.
Muay
Muay
Thai.
Muay Thai,
Mai
which is a
Tai, Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, which
With
is
the knees
Muay
and elbows. Knees and elbows.
Yeah.
Bow, bow.
Yeah.
Which had the best
So,
movies, by the way. Best martial arts movies were Muay Thai
Protector.
movies.
Protector? Is that Muay
That was one.
Hey!
That was
And
one.
for real, it comes from Oakland, California, of all places.
Oakland.
And, yeah, the Mai Tai was
Oakland.
invented by a guy named Victor
Famous for the
Bergeron.
Raiders. They don't have the Raiders anymore, by the way.
That's right. In
Oh.
Oakland, California, at his bar called Trader Vic's, out in Oakland, California, and he wanted something that was simple, like the martini and the Manhattan
Oh.
and the old fashioned, that would just showcase the best qualities of old Jamaican rum. And boy, it's good.
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
flavor that I keep
no.
thinking of is Yeah,
Actually,
have you ever been
Tom,
in Puerto Rico?
What?
Have you been in Puerto Rico to go to the Bacardi Mansion and try all the different rums there?
the Bacardi Mansion. That's really interesting. So all right, so on the Bacardi stuff, there's this great book called "And a Bottle of Rum: A History of the New World in 7 Cocktails," and it traces the history of rum drinks in the Americas based off of different eras, going all the way back to the grog that sailors would drink on board ship in like the 18th century, like pirates, like going all the way back to pirate days, tracing all the way through like the mojito craze of like the early 2000s. And it talks about Bacardi in Cuba and how the charcoal filtration and what they had in Cuba and Havana during the 20s when prohibition was going on, because Havana was just like 90 miles away from Florida. So people would just go to Cuba to drink in the 20s. And the Bacardi distillery made out like bandits in the 20s and 30s off of American travelers. And that became a defining flavor. You have the famous La Floridita. You guys have ever heard of the La Floridita in Cuba?
Yeah.
No.
All right, so there's this bar in Cuba in Havana, Cuba, called La Floridita,
You been there?
which is no, I haven't. I want to go there, but that's like the original like the OG place to get a daiquiri, based off of like the original Cuban rum recipe,
Yeah,
which
Bacardi's
involves
from Cuba, right?
Bacardi, of like filtering the rum, of like sanding all of the rough edges off it. It's a little different to me because
Bacardi Ocho's
my wife,
favorite.
right, because like, I heard Bacardi Ocho is really good. I haven't had a
Love
chance to
it.
try it, but
And it's low,
I'm a big
inexpensive.
fan.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Ron de Barrito, 3-star, which is like an aged Puerto Rican rum. Like
Nice.
that's fucking awesome. And then when I was in Italy, because they don't have any weird trade shit with Cuba and Italy, is I got a chance to try Havana Club 8-year in just a straight up daiquiri,
Damn,
like
son.
8-year, like it's just a bar on the beach in Positano. And I said the bartender, like, what do you got? Like, can I get like a daiquiri? Like, I see like you got like Havana Club 8-year on the shelf. Like, can you just make me just a plain shaken daiquiri? And he was like, yeah, I can, man. I'll do that. And I was like, fuck, this is good because it's just
Bruh,
like,
bruh. All you guys, I gotta make a party at my place. All dude, like we're just gonna fucking drink, man.
Just
We Jim from last week is has already committed to my party.
Deep
Tony,
dish rum
Tony,
party.
Tom. Sorry,
Rum party.
sorry,
God
Tom.
damn.
Dude, fuck yeah. By the way, actually, one thing I did want to say was another pin that I had to pull out right now. Right, there was a place in Vegas. No longer here. I actually looked it up. Unfortunately, it permanently closed. It was called Lost Spirits. It's over at Area 15. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Area 15 in
I'm
Vegas.
going to Vegas next month for the first time.
Oh, definitely go to Area 15. It's
Dude,
amazing
hold on.
place. Very, very cool.
Oh,
Hold
I've
on,
been
hold
there.
on. Wait a second. There was this place called Lost Spirits, which was basically a kind of very what do you call it? What do you call like it's kind of like a circusy steampunk situation.
Yeah, I
Like
got
have
it.
you ever seen like the movie like the Smashing Pumpkins had like
Oh,
the
30
music
Seconds.
video.
Holly, the Infinite Sadness, like
Right.
tonight.
Or like
Yeah.
it was like very weird. They
Oh,
had like fishes with
talk
human
about that
faces
album
and
for
stuff like
another hour.
that.
Shit.
Wait, regardless. You would go to
We're
this
getting
place.
into more elder millennial Gen X talk right here.
But hold on,
God
sorry,
damn
sorry,
it.
sorry. So you would go to this place and basically it's like a kind of a maze type of thing and you're looking for like these rum stations and it was a rum distillery, right? And you would
Okay.
look for these rum stations, but in between you were looking for these rum stations, they would have these like random acts like of these either contortionists or like a lady that was like balancing like knives or like a dude that was doing like a lot of like aerial type of stuff, like those type of stuff, right? And you'll just like randomly see these things as you're trying to search out for these rum stations and stuff like that. I'll show you videos actually, if when I do make my party and all that
sounds like-
stuff. It was super cool. Now, Grant, here's the
sounds
thing
awesome.
though. Here's my problem with rum though, is that I am not a big fan of rum straight.
I am.
That's my biggest problem.
Nobody really
Bacardi
is,
Bacardi
you know?
Ocho. You could drink that straight.
Well,
I promise.
no,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even that. Like I do
Promise.
whiskey. I'm a whiskey guy. I'm a whiskey guy. I have a lot of the cast know this and all that stuff. I'm a big whiskey guy. Like
Okay.
my top shelf is basically
Get 'em,
all
Tom.
whiskey.
Get him, Tom.
essentially.
Get him, Tom.
Right?
All right, I know what
Educate this guy.
I know what's up your alley.
Right.
Right here because I think the issue is age. A lot of whiskeys are aged long time,
Right.
You like some
and
mature.
rums like actually, have you ever tried Angel's Envy rye whiskey?
Yeah, I did.
It's okay.
I think I
Okay.
have a bottle right here. Yeah.
Right, but that's
Shake
aged in rum casks.
Mm.
Right.
That is aged rum casks. So like,
Yeah.
I thought it
leaning
was
into that,
wine
like
bottle, wine barrels.
different,
Maybe different expressions.
different, like rum, different. Okay, so Appleton 12-year is a fantastic bottle of rum. That's like old fashioned worthy. Like I would do it probably like with some bitters and a little bit of sugar, and then a little orange or grapefruit twist up top. That would be with a nice big rock. That would be my way of doing that. That's
Hey,
a really
it's
good one.
I just looked it up. It's at my local Jewel Osco. All right, I'll
Yeah.
I'll go for that.
Or
I'll buy that.
or Diplomatico
Diplomatico.
Diplomatico
Exclusiva. Okay.
Exclusiva Reserva from Venezuela. That's a good one.
Exclusiva. There it
Like,
is.
I had that's from Venezuela. That's a
Hey, my
really good-
same Jewel Osco. Perfect.
There you go. Like
You know
that's a
what?
good one.
I will buy both of these guys, and then I'm waiting maybe for like a warmer time, so you guys can use the outdoor like fire pit that I have, Then I'm gonna invite like just like basically all my buddies and just like
All the
use up
guests and just have a good conversation.
exactly
Make some,
bar
yeah,
just like
make
Yes.
some, like
yeah it's all
connectors
it's
or
just
something.
buddies. It's just all my buddies essentially
Buddies.
and just like drink like my bar and all that stuff, right? Because I'm going
Nothing
through midlife
sus.
crisis right now. But anyway, regardless, though,
Uh-oh.
we
You
got
made it
1 minute. We
sus.
got 1 minute. We got 1 minute before like I want to like because
Damn.
we're trying to be like that. But okay, so we talked about the Marvel Rivals thing. You're a big rum fan, obviously. Does anybody else? Yadu, Gen Z, do people like rum or is it just
Well,
rum and
I'm a
coke
rum
bullshit?
fan. No, I'm a rum fan
Caribbean.
because
From
I'm
the
from the
Caribbean.
Caribbean, though. Yeah,
Where are you from in the Caribbean? I didn't
Trinidad.
ask. Oh, you're
Trinidad.
from Trinidad.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
Angostura, like I have a bottle of 1919 there. I have the Angostura Symphony.
Yeah.
I gave Gabe
Nice.
that Angostura 7 year. I do really like the El Dorado stuff. That's Guyana, I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
That's Guyana.
Yeah.
Like I got a bottle of El Dorado 12 and it's amazing.
El Dorado is amazing. I think me and my dad last time we got El Dorado was like 50, no, not I don't know. But usually me and my
Camel?
dad when we get stuff, it's usually like Scotch that we get at duty free, but last time we were coming through, we got the Angostura 2023 Symphony, which isn't aged, but it's really good. It has
That's
like
good in and of itself. That's good for a lot of stuff that you can use it. Like
yeah, like I have the bottle right here. It's got a really nice color to it. It's like kind of
Why is
You
going?
have excited
yeah.
the
Yeah.
no, like
Gen Z guy.
oh wow. All right,
Ooh.
Ooh.
What's the flavor profile? What does that taste like?
It's very woody.
Oh,
I'll
woody.
read what it says here.
Woody.
So it says aroma nuance with wood undertones, dried fruits, vanilla. It does have dried fruits and vanilla. Yeah.
Did I have some of that?
Yeah, you have.
Ooh.
You have. This is the
Do
stuff I
not
get
do
done.
not finish that. Do not finish that.
No,
Take
no,
that to
I
my
won't.
place.
That sounds
Yeah.
like that sounds like 100% like Planner's Punch. Like boy,
It's
like
really good. I mean,
like put a little bitters in, put some bitters in that and a little bit of lime juice and it'd be awesome.
yeah,
What's
that's
the
like-
ultimate rum punch, Tom? How do you make the ultimate rum punch?
Ooh, punch.
151
another-
right on top.
Punch is another
Light it on
punch is
fire.
punch is another thing entirely because like what punch originally was they would mix spirits with citrus and sugar and then they would add it to milk and then it would curdle and then you'd strain it and you would get this like clear liquid that would come out of it with all of the citrus and things already added to it that would be shelf stable or cellar stable. Like Benjamin Franklin was big into rum punch back in the colonial
Not
era,
BF. Oh, jeez.
Interesting.
and they had like
Not
tons of
another
this
guy.
stuff just hanging out in their basements because it was shelf stable because it would last. It was like having like a bottle of soda in your basement or a bottle of pop or something like that. It was really convenient that you could get rum punches and brandy punches and whiskey punches and things like that that would sit for a long time in a basement. I've done a few milk punches over the years, and like 3 Dots and a Dash does a bunch of them. 3 Dots and a Dash, man.
Let's hit that spot up, Tom. Let's hit it up.
Do you like
Well,
Sparrow?
Yeah.
Sparrow?
Yeah,
is
dude.
Never been
I
there. I
haven't
want to
been
go.
there.
Sparrow.
Like,
Yeah,
I-
you
I-
took me
by
to
the
Sparrow
way-
for my birthday.
By the way,
Rum
I'm gonna be downtown Saturday. Yadu and Gabe.
Party.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
you're going to the sexy nerds thing, aren't you?
I didn't want to say, but yes, because I know someone in the chat told me about it. Yeah,
They are not
exactly.
in the
Sexy
chat
nerds thing.
anymore. They dipped on the politics discussion.
They
But-
dipped on the politics. That's why I
Yeah,
was
they
like,
texted
yo,
me.
we
Was
gotta,
like,
we
I
gotta do
don't
that.
want to.
I actually wanted to ask, like, Tom. God, I was about to say Tony. My uncle's Tony. That's why I don't know why I kept
I'm
saying
Italian,
Yeah.
so you could probably call me
Uncle, it
Tony and
doesn't
get away with it.
exist.
that. But Tom, real quick though, like, because you yourself do casting itself and the MCU EVU thing.
We did
Review.
Starting in
Review. Sorry.
right for 2022 and into 2023.
Mhm.
And that's all still available on YouTube. That's the MCU REVU. That's me and Elliot Serrano and Dave Pino and John Clark going through the MCU films, and then we have the Top Men Indiana Jones podcast that we did after that, and we had a lot of fun doing MCU review. That we did all of that, and um, we had some good people on. I remember one of the ones we did was when we did Captain Marvel. We had Julie DeCaro on, and she was just terrific. She was a lot of fun. Brought a lot of her perspective, being a woman in sports broadcasting, which was terrific.
Yeah.
We had oh God, this one.
Having Lawrence Holmes was awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
Lawrence Holmes was awesome. Connor was great. Dr. Susanna Flores.
Oh, Connor, I forgot about him.
Dr. Susanna Flores, who
Conor
wrote a
McGregor,
whole
right?
book.
No,
Dr.
not Conor
Susanna
McGregor,
Flores.
Connor.
No.
Yeah,
Conor
McGregor? No.
Oh, name dropped. Dr. Susanna Flores wrote a whole book on the psychology of Wolverine.
Oh.
Which was awesome. She was great. She was on a couple of times. She was on one where I wasn't there, but she was on when we talked about Captain America: Civil War, and she was terrific. So we had a lot of great conversations about that. So
I have a question because like I actually wanted to ask you a little bit more about like, you know, well, how do you build something like that? Do you feel like the Marvel stuff got you more, or the cocktail stuff? Because like everything you said about Rome was fascinating.
100%. It 100%.
You know?
All right. So for real, the reason I got involved with that is that I'm friends with one of the guys on Dave Pino, one of the guys on the show, started doing a James Bond podcast with Elliot Serrano called Shaken Not Hurt.
Wow.
And I'm friends with Dave because we're both terminal White Sox fans. And
I'm sorry for the losses.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the losses. And big into sports uniforms, specifically baseball uniforms.
Oh my gosh, this guy in uniforms, insane.
Like, yeah, so we'll be here all night if you get me going on that tangent. So we were talking about cocktails when James Bond, and I mentioned, you know, the Vesper supposedly isn't a very good drink. And we were talking about it, and I got asked to be on an episode of Shaken Not Heard, which was fun. We talked for like 2 hours about drinks and the Bond movies and things like that. And then they said, like, all right, we're also doing the MCU. Why don't you come on and we'll talk? Like, so I said, fuck it, put me on like one of the shitty ones, so you don't have to worry about getting a decent guest. Like, put me on Thor: The Dark World, so you don't have to. You're not bumping someone who's important.
Damn,
right.
That was a boring.
So I went on.
Oh my god.
So I went on. So I went on Thor, and I created basically a Viking Negroni with
nice. Love Negroni.
with like a bitter, like, imagine if Malort was good. That's made by Leatherby Distillery here in Chicago.
Is good. What are you talking about? Malort is good. I like Malort.
Okay, so Malort, but better. That's Besk by Leatherby Distillery, and then a couple of liqueurs from Koval on the other side of Ravenswood. And I basically made a white Negroni.
That's a great distillery.
Yes, Koval is awesome. So I did that was the first one I did, and we had a great time doing that. And then I got asked, like, do you want to do one for Captain America Winter Soldier, which was next? So I did one for that, and I just kind of kept doing it. So I got on because I was going into a really deep dive on vermouth and the martini and things like that, and I had a lot of opinions on Vesper and James Bond dry martinis and things like that. And it just kind of happened by accident. And next thing I know, I've got 20 plus original cocktails from the MCU and all 5 Indiana Jones movies. I think one of the best ones I did was the one I did for Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was called Bad Dates, which was like a mint. Yeah, but which was a mint julep, because what was fascinating was in Raiders of the Lost Ark, if you look at the bottle of whiskey that Indy is drinking after Marion is supposedly killed, he's drinking a pre-prohibition version of Jack Daniels that was like not available. He's drinking like a 15-year-old bottle of whiskey that would have not have been available in the United States at all. that he somehow has. It's like Bell of Lincoln. It's a pre-prohibition
Hmm.
Tennessee whiskey coming out of the Jack Daniel's distillery. And it's wild for that particular label. And I thought, like, why don't we just do like a julep? Like, mint's very popular in the Middle East, and dates is a theme. Let's use date syrup instead of sugar syrup. And that wound up being a really tasty drink. So, like,
Nice.
Bro,
that was like
man,
really cool.
I'm telling you, man. Like when I do this party, you gotta be the bartender, man. This is gonna be fucking lit. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
there's like
Gen Z, did you hear any of that shit? Do you know what the prohibition is, Gen Z?
Yeah, bro, we have to learn it in school. I mean,
Okay, well there.
That was disrespectful.
You didn't have to-
Come
Yeah.
on. That was
It said.
disrespectful.
I want to drop some like book recommendations. Like definitely pick up that book I mentioned earlier, and a bottle of rum: The History of the New World in cocktails. It's called And a Bottle of Rum. You know, like yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
Okay.
That's a great one. Smuggler's Cove by Martin and Rebecca Kate. That's like if you're at all into tiki cocktails or things like the Three Dots and a Dash, the zombie, the jet pilot, the Mai Tai, all kinds of that stuff. It covers it in extensive detail.
Which, by the way,
Um,
we got to hit up 3 Dots and Dash. What the hell's going on with us?
Oh yeah, Three Dots and a Dash
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Great,
Love-
yeah.
I've been
Great
there
crab
so many
rangoon.
times. Yeah.
I have not been yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
busted
yeah.
out. So it's like the Wayne Curtis
right,
with a bottle of rum. Boom.
right.
Mhm.
And
Wayne
then
Curtis.
that's right.
I just sent it out to our Discord.
Yes, that's the book. And then Imbibe by David Wondrich. Terrific book about all of the pre-prohibition era. It's basically an annotated version of one of the first cocktail manuals that was ever put out. Goes into a lot of great detail about the origin of drinks like, hey, do you know why the whiskey sour tastes the way it tastes? Do you know why the Manhattan tastes the way it tastes? Do you know where the martini came from? And David
What was the book
Wondrich-
name? Sorry. What was it? David Wonder. What was it? Vibe.
Imbibe, as in to imbibe
To
strong
imbibe in
drink.
something. Yeah.
Right. That's a
Okay.
terrific book to look up. And we were talking about the history of Haiti earlier. Definitely look up
Haiti.
The Black Count, which is a story of one of Napoleon's generals of cavalry who was a son of a slave in what is now Haiti and who basically serves as the inspiration for the Count of Monte Cristo, which was written by his son, Alexandre Dumas. So it's a book about Alexandre Dumas' father, Thomas Alexandre Dumas, the great Revolutionary War general. That's a
Wow.
cool book. Because and he's imprisoned on an island in the Mediterranean, like in the Count of Monte Cristo, and it's clear that his son based his epic, world-famous novel off of his father, who is this son of a French noble and a slave in what is now Haiti. That's a really cool book. That's a really cool
Makes
book to
sense.
pick.
Okay. Well, anyway, so sorry, I gotta cut this off because we are actually past our time for our streaming. Actually, I always kept saying we got it like stick at 11
Soda
o'clock.
Stream hates when we go over
Yeah.
11 p.m. They hate it.
Soda Stream and Raytheon.
wish.
Raytheon. I want to get those big Raytheon money. You
But
know,
we didn't
like
get the
hated
chance to
it.
talk about Johnny Walker Black from Blade Runner 2049. What did you think about that?
We'll
bottle?
talk about it some other time, basically.
Oh, I
All
want to
right,
say
well,
thanks
yeah, go ahead. Actually, JP,
for
go ahead.
being a great guest. That's like the education you
Anytime.
gave us about
Yeah.
rums is like
Phenomenal. A great second guess. No good. It's
Yes.
great being number two. Number two is bigger than number one. Whatever.
Anytime.
Whoa.
Next time you wanna have me on, I'll create
Yeah.
a custom.
Oh,
cocktail
dude,
the
for
studio.
sure, man. Like, actually, we definitely need more, and it seems like we definitely need like a wider range of people because we are a variety show. We
Yep.
we talk about everything, and I mean, what part of the reason that I've said before in another podcast is that part of the reason that we are talking and trying to make a podcast is we're trying to get our voices heard. You know, all of us are very left leaning or whatnot, and I feel like the more people actually, get their voices heard, we might not make it or whatever, but someone will, you know?
Reach out
Someone
to
will
Flint
do it.
Dibble.
Yeah.
Reach out to Flint Dibble. He's awesome.
Do
He's a cool
Monopoly
guy.
on on podcasts for some
And then
reason.
Gen Z will just be like, dude, yeah.
Dude, everything's fucked. Which, by the way, I'm so embarrassed. The fucking skit is that I always ask him first, "How's Gen Z?" and then
Yes, and
it's
you
always
blew
bad.
it.
It's
You
all
I,
blew
I
bad.
blew it. I blew it. Sorry. Anyway,
Yeah.
guys,
All right, we're past
thank you
time.
guys. Thank you guys for watching. We pretty successful and all that stuff. Thank you guys so much for tropical drinks, everything like that. And I will let Yadu go ahead and give the final word.
It's all bad.
Great. Thank you guys. Peace.
Peace. Later, man.
All right. I already stopped the stream. All right. Cool, guys. Thank you so
Great.
much, Tom. Seriously, honestly. Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
That was a
Wow.
great
Thank
podcast.
you.
Like the
We got to hit up
It,
Sparrow.
it was it
learned
was
so much
one
about
of-
rum. It was insane.
Yeah, the knowledge on rum is fire. This is the 1919 I was talking about, by the way.
Ooh, that's Angostura 1919.
Yes.
There's a shitload of stuff.
Oh.
There's a shitload of great stuff. Have you ever had a Queens Park Swizzle?
All
right. Okay.
What he has is
Okay. So, all right. So, for real, what you're going to do is you're going to look up the recipe for Queens Park Squizzle, or you can look up, I have the recipe on the REVU Cocktails Instagram. I think
I
it's
linked-
near
I
the
linked-
bottom.
I
Queen's
believe
Park's
I-
what?
I think I linked the Instagram either on the Discord or on the
Yeah,
the
you got
chat.
it. No, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, okay, you
It's
got
the Queens Park Swizzle.
Twizzle.
All right. So what you're gonna do is, do you know Fresh Farms, the grocery store? All right. So you're gonna go and get some fresh mint, and
I
you're
get
gonna make
mint.
some mint. Yeah, mint.
Oh, it
And you're gonna
originated in Trinidad. Yeah, it does say that.
yeah. And you're gonna get some fresh mint, and you have aromatic bitters, Angostura aromatic bitters.
Oh yeah,
The little bottle. Yeah, little
Yep.
bottle with the yellow.
Mhm.
yeah, I
on.
have that. Yeah,
It doesn't wrap
Okay,
around
cool.
the bottle nicely. It's just like a fucking paper thing that's like
yeah.
on
We,
top.
Yeah,
me and
that's-
Gabe,
that's a weird-
where did we go? We went to Virgin Hotels, and the bartender there was like, "You're Trinidadian?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Can you talk to somebody about the way they put these fucking wrappers on the bitters?"
yeah.
Like, it's fucking
So
like-
what it is you put in some simple. You put in like a, depending on how strong your simple syrup is, you put in your quarter ounce or a half ounce, a simple on the bottom, and then you muddle mint on the bottom. Puts like 6, 7, 8 fresh mint leaves in the bottom, and you muddle it, and then you add 2 ounces of rum on top of that,
Damn.
and then you throw in like a bunch of crushed ice. Like just use the crushed ice out of your fridge or whatever. Fill it up to the top, and then take like a spoon or something like that. I'm not expecting you have a swizzle stick or anything. I don't have a swizzle
I
stick,
do.
but I use a bar. Oh, you have if you have a swizzle stick, use a swizzle stick or a bar spoon and like swizzle that for until the outside gets like really cold. Add more ice on the top, and then just like dash a shit ton of Angostura bitters on the top of that. Like until you like coat the whole thing. And then put in like another big sprig of mint and a straw into that, and it's fucking awesome. It's like one of the best drinks you'll ever have in your life. It's just
Nice.
there's a guy here in Chicago, Anders Ericsson, who runs a cocktail
yes.
YouTube channel.
I wonder if they
Yeah.
have that on the menu at
Yes, you've
Sparrow,
mentioned this, yeah.
since Sparrow's
They
like
probably do. Or if they don't have it on the menu, they probably know how to make it.
Yeah, I haven't been
Like, if
back
you-
there since October. Yeah, my birthday.
If
We
you
went there.
Like I went to, like they don't have a Hemingway daiquiri on the 3 dots at 3 dots and a dash, but I asked them about it and they made it for me with the
Mm.
Ron de Barrito rum, and
Oh.
that was awesome.
Sorry. Actually,
Yes.
you just mentioned what was the 12-year that I have to get? I just closed the window. Fuck, I'm stupid. Sorry.
Appleton Estate 12-year.
Estate 12-year. Yeah, I got it. Okay, perfect. Great. All right. I'm gonna keep these keep these
yeah,
open
that's
so
an-
that. Oh
One
shit!
thing to watch
do
out with.
Do I work from home tomorrow? I don't. Fuck. I actually
I gotta go to
I
the office, and so
You have
I'm-
to
I
come
gotta
in.
go
I gotta do
because-
boxing with Yadu.
Oh.
Actually, Yadu's gonna start doing boxing classes with me. So
I'm just
Yeah.
glad I don't have court tomorrow.
I have no
Oh,
class
yes.
tomorrow. I
You
skipped
do
class
litigation?
today. I woke up and looked at the temperature. I was like, nah.
Adios,
yeah,
guys.
Tom, just to let you know, like we have like a wide variety. Like with this cast, like right now,
Yeah.
Yadu literally like became 21. Like literally, how many months ago? 2 months ago?
End
3 months
of
ago?
October. End of October
October.
20. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. When I got the keto bullshit that happened to me, right?
What
October and all that stuff. So we're basically
Ten, ten,
you
10,
have
10.
JP who's like Gen X, and then
Yeah.
me, which I'm like gonna be 39 in May, and then it would be
Okay.
Gabe, and then all the way to 21, right?
I'm
So
41.
you're 41. So you're basically, I think you're in between me and JP
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
JP's a
Okay.
little bit older than me.
Yeah, right.
Um,
I'm gonna be 39. So
How?
so that
What
actually
part
what
of
was funny is that I noticed one time is that when you were talking about Farscape and I was talking about Highlander and all that stuff, like we're basically the same time period in terms of watching
Yeah.
shows and stuff like that, right? But like Gabe and Yadu
I had no
definitely
idea what the fuck were you guys talking
had
about.
no idea. Right.
I watched
One of my
the
friends who
trailer.
was watching text me was like, "Yo, do you even know what they're talking about?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Farscape is well worth the time.
It is.
But
It is.
yeah.
I
So
doubt it.
question for the first question for the younger folk. Where I guess for everyone, where do y'all live in the area?
I'm downtown Chicago. Wait, me and y'all do
Yeah,
live in
me
the
and
same
Gabe.
building.
Yeah, we live in the same building. We live at Block 37.
Yeah.
Oh, Block 37. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So so Three Dots and a Dash is like right there.
Right up the street. Yeah.
That's
Where
a good
about you?
spot.
Where are you at?
Um,
Tony?
I'm at the far northwest side. I'm like up by
Rogers
Billy
Park?
Caldwell Golf Course. No, way west than that. So like if you look at Rogers Park and you head straight west all the way to the edge of the city boundary, like except for like going to O'Hare, I'm
What
like
the fuck is more west than Rogers
way
Park? Well, everything is because Rogers
fucking
Park's pretty.
everything is west in Rogers
Yeah,
Park.
you're
Rogers
right.
Park is on the
that's a good
lake.
argument. That's a good
Wait,
argument.
hold on. What's the district that you're in? Villa Park, like JP?
No, Edgebrook. Edgebrook.
Oh, Edgebrook. Okay.
So,
Actually,
What else is
JP
by
just left,
Edgebrook?
by the way. JP
Yeah,
left.
JP just Irish exited.
He always leaves like that. JP always leaves like that. I don't know why.
Really, I got
Because he's
family too. I got
sleeping.
Dude,
Yeah,
when
he's got
JP
family.
JP asked about the Asian girl,
Who, Joy?
I wasn't sure if he was talking about Joy or the girl from the Valentine's Day party because I didn't think he knew about Joy.
I don't think he knows about both of them. Well, no, maybe we're talking about. Wait, we can talk about that later.
Dude,
Put
is
a pin
it
on that.
bad when I'm at a point where he asked about an Asian girl? I don't know which one it is.
No,
Because right
not
now
at
there's
all.
4.
Not at
Oh,
all. Jorge's the same way.
Well,
Trust
well,
me.
let's put
He
a pin
was
on
the
that.
same
Hold
way
on.
before he got
So
married.
okay. So I JP is in Villa Park. I'm all the way at Vernon Hills. I used to live
Okay.
in South Loop though.
Okay,
For
okay.
most of the time that I was in Chicago, I moved to Chicago in 2012. 2012?
Okay.
Yeah, 2012. River East was where I used to be, and then South Loop for most of the time. Right
Gotcha.
after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, moved up to the burbs now with the house and with the
Yeah.
life crisis that I'm having right now and all that stuff. But I will tell you though, like living in the burbs as a young person, especially in Yadu's age and stuff like that, was definitely for sure great. But I also knew like there were a lot of places. Like I was definitely someone that like would always try to find the places to go, right? But I knew so many people that would like not be in a place and not heard. Like for example, Three Dots in the Dash. They'd never been there. They never heard of it. And I've been there like literally like 10 times, right? More than that,
Yes.
maybe. Right.
I like
But
another-
there's so many,
yeah.
so many locations and spots in Chicago that like
there's
I felt like everybody knew about, but yeah, totally not a lot of people know about.
I actually need to ask around at SAIC because like with UIC, I feel like those kids usually stick with the campus bars, but because SAIC doesn't have that type of campus, we're just downtown. Usually they're usually at like the bars that more grown folk are at. Like
Yeah.
I have noticed that, and I don't even. So I was last weekend or last Friday, yeah, for Valentine's Day, because one of my friends, he and his girlfriend had broken up like 3 days prior, and he did that because he knew she was expecting some extravagant shit for Valentine's Day that he couldn't afford. She was a 27-year-old grad student, and he is also 21, and so they're both Korean, but like he lived in LA for like the majority of his teenage years. So like
Wait, are those the two that were at your party?
No. They're like
The
26.
two Koreans?
No. They moved to New Jersey a couple months ago. No, this is a kid who was like in my year, and he was telling me, he was like, dude, she like expects me to pay for everything, and I fucking tanked. So he broke up with her right before Valentine's Day because he knew that she was expecting something extravagant. But we went out and we hit we went to, I didn't realize Sushi-san had a happy hour. And we went there. They have good old fashions. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, that's good. I like
Love a good old fashioned,
Yeah.
love a good old fashioned. That's always great.
That's always my go-to because
You
I'm
know
a
what I'll
whiskey
never
guy.
forgive?
So.
I'll never forgive the older generations for labeling some drinks as gay.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Well,
Well,
all right. So this is an interesting
Like
thing about
palomas and shit
all the
like
rum.
that?
All
Yeah, like
yeah,
maybe I want my shit to
oh,
taste good. Like
Paloma,
maybe,
Paloma,
yeah.
awesome.
I love them.
Paloma's a fucking
Yeah.
awesome drink.
Love them.
So but like back in the 50s when
if
when
that's gay, call me
when-
Paul Rudd. Wait, no, he's
right.
not gay.
Well,
Paul Rudd is gay.
back in the 50s when the tiki cocktail craze was like really big, when guys like Don the Beachcomber and Trader Vic were like doing this stuff, they had to name their drinks with like, lime juice and like different kinds of sweeteners and things like that, and 5 different varieties of rum. Like some of these recipes are wild. If you pick up Smuggler's Cove, it's crazy. They had to name their drinks stuff like Cobra Fang, Sidewinder, Missionary's Downfall.
Missionaries
they had it-
downfall.
Right. They had to give their drinks like all of these hard sounding names to get these like World War II vets who had come back from the
Yeah.
Pacific to like order these in their place. Like the Zombie.
Oh yeah.
Like
I'll
they
be
had
hon- so I you know the Bacardi like pre-made zombie? The
yeah, no,
that shit is
Get-
so
you-
awful,
you-
but for my
gotta get
19th
it real.
birthday I blacked out on that and I
Well,
woke up in my
yeah.
shower like throwing up blue.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, because like legit, like the real zombie, like Don the Beachcomber's restaurant, they put you may order no more than 2 of these in a single night.
Ooh. Oh,
Period.
damn.
They had to put it like, and if you look at the recipe, it's like 3-4 ounces of rum. It's
Okay,
it's
well that's
wild.
fine. Yeah.
It's wild. And even some of these like the Jet Pilot is like a pared down version of that. And I happen to love that drink, but unless I make it literally exactly to spec, I cannot sub anything out. If I don't make it exactly to spec, it will fuck me up.
Mm.
Like the next day. Like, you know that feeling when you're on a roller coaster and you get to the top and you hear the clack, 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 clack of of that. That's what it feels like after like your 3rd sip of a Jet Pilot.
Oh my god.
Because you can feel like, oh, here we go. And here we're about to go for a ride. And it's like, it's going to be fun, but I don't know if I'm going to throw up at the end of this. But they had like, yeah. All right. I have to go to the bathroom really bad, and I'd promised my wife that I was going to make some frozen.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine, dude. Like,
dumplings. So
the-
I'm gonna
the
have to
stri-
peace out.
yeah, no, the
But-
stream is great, but
Yeah.
dude, you were, by the
Yeah,
way, an
amazing
amazing
guest.
guest. I
Need
was
to
very
come back.
surprised about like how far you went with